You are about to experience the Drunken Peasants podcast, the greatest podcast in human history. Please recognize that this podcast is designed to be amusing and entertaining, and thus we engage in satirical comments, exaggerations, and even dirty jokes. If you are offended by such things, please go away and die. If you enjoy this podcast, we ask that you help to support its existence by contributing to our Patreon at patreon.com/DP. Contributors get regular access to monthly private shows, special commentaries, Google Hangouts with the peasants, and more. If you don't want to do that, you can also support the show by visiting audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to get a free audiobook and access to over 150,000 audiobook titles, including great selections on science and skepticism. And if you shop on Amazon.com, we strongly urge you to use one of the Amazon affiliate links in the description section of our videos. You can help support the show simply by using our link to buy things you were going to buy anyway. Now that we've got all that shit out of the way, sit back and enjoy the show.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Hey man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck you talking about, atheist? It's okay.
You're nothing, KJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be liked.
You're garbage.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants
Fucking thing
podcast,
sucks.
episode 180. What the fuck are you talking about, Willis?
Willis. Wow. How about Willis now? Yeah, it's 180.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Sweet. Can't wait till episode 420.
That will happen eventually.
Hopefully, yeah.
What are we going to do, just like blaze for the entire episode?
How would that be any different?
Instead of like taking 2 to 3 minute breaks, we'll just literally blaze the entire episode.
Yeah. Can I just get like a THC IV drip or something?
I think that would eventually kill you.
Maybe.
Yeah, if you had it like as an IV drip.
I don't know. I've heard that no one's ever overdosed on THC before.
I don't know. I find it hard to believe that you couldn't overdose on it if you had an IV drip.
I mean, if you
of
replace all of your blood with THC, you know, maybe then.
I don't know. I'm sure people will send us statistics based on that, but
yeah,
I
let us
think,
know, science analysts.
I think with an IV, that's different than most other ways you would ingest it. So, because it goes directly into your bloodstream.
Well, if I start to feel myself dying, I'll just pull the IV out.
Yeah, because you'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
All right, so one quick announcement first to our patrons that are, what was it, 25 and 50?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, 25. If you're eligible, if you're a patron who's eligible for the Google Hangout or the Cards Against Humanity, we're doing the Google Hangout tomorrow at 6
p.m. Eastern Standard
Time, and then Wednesday we're doing Cards Against Humanity at the same time, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. So if you're a patron and you qualify for those, be sure to be checking your Patreon, because we're going to be making some announcements about that.
Tomorrow you'll be receiving information about the Hangout, and then the day after you'll be receiving information about the Cards Against Humanity game.
Yep.
If you can't make it, we apologize. At the beginning of next month, we'll announce it way more in advance, so you'll have time to clear up your schedule. It's kind of difficult with the holidays because we have a pretty big national holiday happening this week. So,
yep, Black Friday.
So we're gonna move on, and this is interesting.
Time to make some money. Time to make some money. Time to make some money on the Drunken Peasants podcast. Fuck you, Scotty. Shut the fuck up. Scotty's a piece of shit.
Miss Scotty.
You miss him, really?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Just reminded me of that, of him being here when he was trolling as his dollar bill self.
I mean, as his dollar bill self.
Yeah, you know.
I don't know. You usually seem like you can't wait until he leaves.
Yeah, but I miss his loud, obnoxious ass now.
Yeah, I've noticed the shows are a lot quieter when he's not here.
Yeah, you know,
he's always in the background, like,
the
what?
instigator.
What?
Yeah, you know, I feel like we're like the WWE now. We ain't got our Seth Rollins anymore.
Yeah, for the first time ever in
Cesaro is injured too, by the way.
In the shilling segment, we're going to shill for someone else.
Yeah,
other than ourselves. See,
Galen, our my friend and our frequent guest here on the show, or 3-time guest, I believe at least.
Yeah.
Needs money for some dental procedures. He has infection in his jaw or wherever.
Something like that,
and it threatens to spread. The infection is threatening to spread to his skull, and that could be pretty disastrous.
Yes, yeah. Infections in your head are bad.
Yeah, you don't want a bone infection in your skull. It's just generally a bad thing. So we're trying to get people to go to Galen's GoFundMe page.
There's a link in the description.
Help him raise some money for the surgeries he needs. He's already sitting at $1,665 of a goal of $15,000, but I believe that $2,000 can at least get him going, so he's very close to that. I hope that you guys who have watched Galen on this show, enjoyed Galen on this show, or even if you hate Galen's fucking guts but just don't want to see him his skull rot off.
Right.
I think is the GoFundMe linked in the description?
It is linked in the description.
So you guys can check that out. Give Galen some money so he doesn't die.
Yes, please.
Please do that.
Also, holiday season's coming up. We mentioned this in the disclaimer at the beginning of the show, but just in case you missed it, down below there are Amazon links. If you're buying anything from Amazon in the near future, please use our link. It helps the show.
Yeah, like if you're buying something for Cyber Monday, or you're buying some Christmas presents for family, or even just something for yourself, use the Drunken Peasants Amazon affiliate link, and we can get a share of that money. Doesn't cost you anything more, just helps the show out.
And we appreciate everyone that has already done it so many times.
Yes, indeed, we do. All right.
Oh, shit.
Damn, they can't see it.
They caught the end of it.
They caught the end.
Well, people like it so much,
Yeah. So who do we have for troll or not a troll today?
So Vote Donald Trump is the name of their video.
Troll. Even if they're not intending to be.
Right now, Scotty would be like, not a troll.
Not a troll.
Not a troll.
Not a troll. TJ's wrong. Yeah, I missed that.
Well, he would say it immediately before we would even start watching.
Yeah. A lot of us like to do that.
All right. Here we go. Vote Donald Trump.
The vote for Donald Trump.
I just want to let you all know that I just came back from the gym, and what the fuck is wrong with my life? This ain't no paranormal activity. Well, let's get on to this discussion that I wanted to talk about. Who did I voted for to become president this year? I know it wasn't these nuts, or not these nuts. It's these nuts because
these nuts.
Did he say who did I voted for?
Actually got rejected because it was a 15-year-old boy.
Who did I voted for?
That did it. So
yeah, D's nuts is not a real candidate. Go figure.
And okay, so
but the next best is Donald Trump, of course.
I actually voted for to become president of the United
States. No one's voted yet for anything. What are you talking about? We talk about who you voted for to be president. There's not. We haven't even had the first primary yet.
The United States is none other than Donald Trump. Come on, this guy is a true leader. Donald Trump, he earns all my respect. I mean, I'd love to work for this guy. I remember back then.
Why would you love to work for Donald Trump? He's an asshole. I can understand wanting to be Donald Trump, where you just get to be a rich, smug asshole and order other people around. I can totally understand that. That makes absolute sense. But why would anyone want to work for Donald Trump? You want to be the person getting ordered around by a bossy, insecure asshole all day? Okay.
Like, I think it was 2008. Yeah, 2008. Something like that happened. Vince McMahon versus Donald Trump in WWE. And you know what Donald Trump does? He gives all the fans the money. Like, it was literally raining money. If you guys don't remember that, or if you guys don't watch WWE...
Wish I was in that crowd.
I remember that.
Give me the money, Donald. Give me the money. Remember Ted DiBiase, like,
he used to
buying
shove
people's seats from them and shit.
Yeah, and when he would beat them, because his move was a sleeper hold, so he'd put the guy to sleep. It was the $1 Million Dream. And then while they were laying on the mat unconscious, he would take a $100 bill and shove it in their mouth, which is kind of gross.
Yeah. But, you know, it makes the statement
yes,
that you wanted to make. That, you know, Donald Trump is kind of like the real Ted DiBiase.
Type that up right now on YouTube.
I've never heard anybody say that.
Well, now you have.
And this guy's just awesome. I love Donald Trump, man. He's amazing. And I don't understand why people like Mexicans, like, there's some Mexicans who hate him, and then there's a lot of Mexicans who like him. So I mean, he's like
reverse that.
Yeah, there's a lot of Mexicans that hate him, and there's some who like him. Okay, I'm not saying no Mexican likes him. You can find black Nazis, for fuck's sake.
50-50 on the Latinos, but how I see him is like he should earn the like they look up to him, and he goes up to them and be like you'll see with Mexican, like, all the Mexicans that work for Donald Trump, they all love him. Like, they'll be sweeping the floors, and he's like,
okay. I mean, like, if the beginning wasn't any indication, the shit he's saying right now.
Yeah, I gotta go with troll.
Troll.
Yeah, I gotta go with troll.
Yeah, it was it was indisputable.
Yeah, I don't think there's much doubt about the troll.
He's like,
going on.
All the Mexicans that work for Donald Trump love him. They'll sweep the floor for him. It's like, what?
When they're sweep, you know, if you're sweeping a floor in one of Donald Trump's buildings, I doubt he's even going to acknowledge you. But if he does, it'll probably be something like derogatory and mean.
Yeah. All right. Well, time to move on here. Chess.
Crazy people. Shit.
I saw someone sent me a video of the Vigilant Christian getting baptized, and he fucking bawls his eyes out.
Well, he's
for almost the whole fucking time.
He's kind of like John Boehner in that regard, you know.
I didn't even cue it up because I didn't know if we'd watch that on the show, but
you know, let's wait till the next time he's here, and then we'll ask him about it.
Oh my god. I'm afraid we would end up making him cry eventually.
Well, you know, we just got to be real sensitive. You got to walk on eggshells.
I know. I had no idea. I mean, I didn't realize he was so sensitive until he actually came on the show, and like we challenged his views, and he like immediately turned into like a 5-year-old.
You know, you guys say what you want. You know, it's just I'm just out here telling my worldview. This is my worldview.
Yeah.
And then whenever we make a joke, he would like fake laugh. Ha! Real funny, guys.
That was so funny, I forgot to laugh.
I made of rubber, you're made of glue.
Yeah.
It's like, calm down, vigilant Christian, vigilant crimson. Do it. Capital
Fireball Z.
Capital One deceptive male tactic.
Yeah, Capital One deceptive male tactic by our friend KinkyJoe.
KinkyJoe.
One of the things that really bugs me.
Hey ho, KinkyJoe.
Why didn't you fix your hair before you started recording?
He wants everyone to see him grooming himself so they know that he knows how to do it.
Okay.
When they send you something and they want you to think from the appearance of the envelope that, oh, it might be something really special that maybe you didn't deserve, but you were lucky enough to receive. So
when does that ever happen?
I mean, like, I know what he's talking about. Companies will send you something like, it looks like a check, but then you open it.
Yeah, those are scams.
Right, and it's like, who honestly is looking at that like, yeah?
I've seen ones from, like, car dealerships, and they look like checks, but really all they are is, like, some kind of fucking discount off of a car that they try to pretend is, like, real money that they're giving you, but really all it is a discount.
Have $100 off a shitty car.
Yeah, basically.
This letter was sent to me here.
Basically just a coupon masquerading as
exactly.
A check. Yeah.
This one sent to me from Capital One.
Okay. What about that makes it look enticing?
No identification outside of a Las Vegas address, a generic Las Vegas address on the back of the envelope.
That doesn't even sound like it is Capital One.
I mean, we'll just say for
doesn't
the sake
say
of
Capital
argument,
One. Doesn't say anything. It just says P.O. Box 98878.
Yeah.
And of course, up in the front here, it says pre-sorted first class. So nah.
So yeah. So what?
Okay, what's in it? Tell us.
It was pre-sorted. It's junk mail, which is what this is.
Right.
And it's like, it's pre-sorted crap. You throw it away. Okay. So what do? They do something and they go, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll print these envelopes with this smudge mark on the front, and we'll make it look like somehow it got stuck in the post office machine as it was being processed, and somehow some dirt on the machine scraped across the front of the envelope to hint that there's a credit card inside. You have to open this because you might have a credit card. You can run out and buy that brand new 120-inch LCD television with this credit card that's inside this envelope.
I don't think anyone in America has trouble getting a credit card.
120-inch, huh?
Yeah, 120 inches. I mean, no one in America has trouble getting credit cards. I've known people who literally have, like, paid their rent in credit card after credit card and never paid any of them, and then just accrued, tens of thousands of dollars worth of debt. So apparently it's really not too hard to get a credit card in America if you really want to get one. I don't think that, it's if I see someone sends me a credit card in the mail that here's a card, all you got to do is activate it. I'm not like, ooh, I could buy my new 120-inch TV. I'm like, oh, okay, fuck this. Garbage.
Yeah.
Throw that away.
Cut it up.
Yeah, cut it up, throw it away. Fuck that. I don't want it. But apparently,
if I want a credit card, I'm going to seek it out and get it.
Yeah.
On purpose. It's not going to just like come to me in the mail and I'd be like, oh, I could really use more debt right now.
Is he just like is the case of his life that he really wants a credit card, but he's never figured out how to actually seek one out? So he's just been waiting all this time for someone to mail one to him.
He was all happy about it. He's like, oh,
finally, my time has come. I could buy more wooden figurines. Yeah. I'll need a new shelf, too, to keep them all on.
So they get you to open the envelope. Well, I knew it was crap, but I opened it anyway because I wanted to see who it was from.
Yeah.
And who's it from? It's from Capital One.
Wait a minute. There is a credit card in there. How is it deceptive? You made it sound like it was this big deception.
All right. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, but I'm lost here. What's the big scam?
And the credit card that they send to you is not a real credit card.
Oh, okay.
As you can see by the phone number, 123-456-7890.
Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha.
It just says preferred customer. So they go, oh, you can start with a credit line of up to $1,500, Mr. Jones, and here's the application, and you've been pre-approved, and all you got to do is send us your information, and you can have a real one of these, not this crappy cardboard fake credit.
It's just they're just doing it to entice you to be like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have one of these?
So wait, he said the whole thing, his whole spiel was like, look how they made the front look like there's a credit card in it. Then you open it up, and all they're doing is offering you a credit card. Once again, I'm lost here. What is the big deception? Maybe
card
he'll explain.
That they sent in the mail. With the fake smudge on the front of the envelope to make it seem like oh boy, they tried to conceal it, but man, it got caught in the postal processing machine and smudged across the front, and it traced the credit card to hint that it's in there. I can't stand deception. People say,
but there is a credit card in there. I mean, it's not the real one, but there is a real offer for a credit card that you've been pre-approved for. I mean, unless it's just a scam trying to get you to fill out some information, which it very well may be, which is why I don't accept the credit cards that I just randomly get in the mail. Which is why most people don't.
Yes.
Send out this crap. And some young junior executive liberal pinhead from Berkeley.
How do you know they're liberal? What? How does this have the liberal stamp on it? I don't get it.
Some liberal fuck from Berkeley obviously is behind this.
It seems pretty capitalist to me.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's probably, you know, a guy who looks much like you except for in better clothes. You know, is sitting in some top floor office somewhere staring down at the city and just, you know, letting his hunger for power surge through him. I mean, it's way more likely some guy like that than it is some Berkeley liberal. I mean, last I checked, like, giving people credit cards is not like a big part of the liberal agenda.
Comes out of some marketing class and he goes, "Oh, I know how we can get people to open the mail. We'll pretend that they want a car or they want a this or they want a that." Yeah.
Okay, but
It's all complete shit.
Is it liberals paying this person to do this? Like, even assuming the person is a liberal that came up with this idea, who does he work for?
Yeah, also, how do we know that that smudge isn't authentic, you know? I mean, maybe that really is there. I mean, he could be right. It could just be something that was put there for marketing reasons to get people to actually open the fucking envelope. And if it is, then it was obviously a pretty clever tactic because his dumbass opened it.
And this is more of it. Capital One, no way.
No way, y'all.
If you'd have sent me an envelope and it said it was from Capital One and it was an invitation for a new credit card, I would have opened it and I would have considered it. But because you sent it with...
No, if you needed a credit card, you would just contact whatever provider you wanted and see what they could offer you.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you really want a credit card, you can totally go seek one out on your own. You don't need,
very easily.
You don't need to take some offer that comes to you in the mail. You know, all I would say about this video is, KinkyJoe, not everything that happens to you in your life needs to be a video. I mean, if you had some sort of interesting commentary to go along with this, then maybe it would work. I think that, you know, your niche is trying to debunk disasters and talk about false flags and stuff. You know, whatever. That's fine. You have your fun doing that. But this, like, look at this scam because they sent me an application for a credit card disguised as a credit card. You're just, I mean, it's silly. It's pure silliness.
I don't think we've covered this video yet. Let me know if we have.
Okay.
It's The Amazing Atheist, A Plea to Hillary Voters.
Okay.
Have we watched this one, to your knowledge?
I don't remember. Well, let's take a look. No, I don't
Hello,
think so.
everyone. Agent of Doubt here. And today I'm going to make a video response to The Amazing Atheist and his video,
Okay.
A Plea to Hillary Voters, Please Don't.
Gotcha.
And in this video, he makes the case that Bernie Sanders deserves the nomination from the Democratic Party to become president instead of Hillary Clinton.
Right.
Now, full disclosure, I have been a registered Republican in the last 2 elections because I've been playing a spoiler. I was in El Paso County, Colorado, where nothing gets done unless you are part of that party. I am a pragmatist, and I did join their party in order to vote for whoever was number 2, and at the time the process came to my state of Colorado, it was Ron Paul. So I became a Ron Paul delegate just to keep the warring factions warring in the opposition party, because that's all I could do from my county. My county was going to go to the Republican in the national election no matter what, in 2012. I continued my spoiling in 2014. I moved from Colorado Springs to Denver, and I moved out of El Paso County, where focus on the family drives the politics. And
you know, it kind of reminds me of that question I submitted to that Young Turks spin-off show. Yeah. I can't remember what the hell it was.
It was called The Point.
Yeah, The Point. The question I sent in was it basically centered around this guy's exact problem: living in a red state or a red county and knowing that your vote really is not going to count if you're voting for anybody but a Republican. Now, I'm sure there's also Republicans in heavily blue counties and states that have the same thing going on. You know, and that's why people are forced to do shit like that. While they're, you know, if they want to actually make a difference in the political process, the best they can do is
they register
try to
for
sabotage the other party's elections. You know, use your vote as a spoiler vote, basically. Try to keep the warring factions warring, as he said. You know, that's pretty fucked up when your democracy comes down to that. Like, you know, there's no point in voting for a Democrat. They're never going to win in a million years. I'll just vote for whoever the second place Republican is to make things contentious for them.
I'm much happier living in the Denver, Boulder area. But,
you know, if we had a popular vote system, then, you know, no one would have to do that shit. One person, one vote. Fuck the Electoral College. Just get rid of it. It's garbage. It's not necessary anymore.
Especially when it goes against the popular vote. It's just kind of like,
and the whole, well, I mean, that the thing that people like to try to act like isn't true, or, you know, don't even bring up, is that the founding fathers, you know, they created the Electoral College specifically because they were scared, you know, what if the populace chooses someone that, you know, we don't really want? Well, we need the Electoral College to be able to, you know, basically usurp the will of the people. Like, it's a fail-safe in case the establishment doesn't like who the people elect.
Right.
Yet another reason it should be abolished if you want a more functional
But there
democracy.
are founding fathers, TJ.
Yeah, I'm so sick
Basically
of that shit.
prophets.
You know, yeah, we have enshrined them as deities here in America, unfortunately. Like, oh, Jefferson. Oh, Jefferson. Jefferson.
I'm still a pragmatist. I still vote with not losing all my chips in mind.
Okay.
And so I'm going to make this response to The Amazing Atheist. Now, I'm looking at polls on USA Today, and they say that Hillary Clinton is ahead of Bernie Sanders. Now, I've heard reports on Facebook that Bernie's been ahead before.
I think no one imagined even it being that close.
Yeah, and, you know, Hillary's pretty much maintained a significant lead against Bernie Sanders. I don't think Bernie's ever been ahead in the polls. He has been ahead in polls in specific states for specific primary votes, but yes, in national polls, Bernie does trail Hillary.
And Obama did too up to this point. It was when Obama won Iowa that he got the attention. More people started listening to him, and that's how he pulled ahead of Hillary. So I do
believe Hillary is going to win Iowa, though.
I believe that you're right, but you never know.
Sure.
And honestly, truthfully, I would prefer either of those candidates to the Donald Trump or Ben Carson that are leading the Republican field right now. Okay, and I will say right now, whoever wins between Sanders and Clinton is who I would choose over whoever wins out of the Republican field, out of the leaders. So I'm willing to right now just lock in my vote that way, at least. But I'm going to say that The Amazing Atheist's video could use a reframe for everyone. It could use a different perspective.
Go ahead and provide one, then.
Quick question before he goes on here.
Yes.
So, if Hillary Clinton becomes the Democratic nominee, would you just not vote at all, or would you vote for her opposition?
I'd probably end up voting third party, if at all, but maybe not at all.
Okay.
And he made his case that Bernie Sanders deserves the nomination more than Hillary Clinton. Now I'm going to make the case that you can just look at everything that he said in a different perspective and make the case that Hillary needs to be the one that we vote for.
Okay.
First, TJ said that Hillary is a shape-shifting person, reptilian, who changes her mind. She's a calculating monster. She only makes decisions based on what's popular and what's trending. She stands on polling numbers and compromise. I think that pretty much sums up his 12-minute video.
Do you agree?
I mean, I don't think it sums up my whole video, but yeah.
It's a good, it's like the cliff notes of the video.
I would say that, everything he says that I say about Hillary, I do say about Hillary, yes.
Okay.
And Bernie has always been Bernie. He's always had the same stances. So what I'm going to
more or less
say about that is that Bernie hasn't reflected the opinions of the people. And would you rather have a politician in office that does not reflect the people that they are representing? Is that what you want?
Yeah, that is what I want. I want a politician who actually does things because they think it's the right thing. If we just go with the will of the people, the will of the people is what got us into fucking Iraq, all right? Huge number, it was nearly 60% of the population, or maybe even more, that supported going to war in Iraq. Bernie Sanders was opposed, and he laid out the reasons why he was opposed, and he made he asked a series of questions that really turned out to be a series of extremely prescient predictions about exactly what was going to happen in Iraq. He stood on principle. Hillary stood on polling numbers. She was one of the ones who enabled this country to get in that quagmire of Iraq. So yes, I think that I definitely want a leader who isn't afraid to fucking lead. If you're just doing what the polls say is popular, then you're not a leader, you're a fucking follower. History is made by people who defy the status quo, not people who champion it.
The whole purpose of us being a democratic republic is so that, our legislative officials, they reflect who they are representing.
Okay, but obviously, if people were going to vote for Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton, it would be because Bernie Sanders reflects their values. Now, does Bernie Sanders agree with me on every single fucking thing under the sun? No. I mean, Bernie Sanders has got some positions that I think are a little bit too much on the SJW side of things for me to be comfortable with. And, I don't like that. But I know that he firmly believes in everything he fucking says. I can look at the stances I agree with, the stances I don't agree with, weigh them against each other and be like, I know this guy is being honest because he stood for these kind of things his entire fucking political career. With Hillary Clinton, I don't know what to weigh against what. Because I don't know who the fuck she is. I have no sense of who the Hillary Clinton is as a person. Hillary Clinton is the ultimate shill. That's why I call her Shillery. Because she just shills bullshit to the eager masses who want easy answers spoon-fed to them like fucking babies. And that's who she is. And if you want that as your leader, be my guest. Vote for Hillary. You're a pragmatist. You want the pragmatic solution. Very well. You're entitled to that approach. But my opinion is, yeah, I do want someone who's willing to stand up to what's popular. I do want someone who's going to look at polling numbers and say, we better change our position, but instead says, we better change people's minds.
And they try to be a little bit more intelligent and make decisions and get us through the political process, but they're supposed to do what we want them to. Okay? So to say, in hindsight, that from our perspective now that Bernie is closer to what we are now, ever since 30 fucking years ago, and Hillary Clinton was always changing her mind. That's brilliant use of hindsight, I guess, but what happens when we progress 10 years down the road and Bernie Sanders is not what we want?
Bernie Sanders won't be president in 10 years. Bernie Sanders won't be president in 10 years. Even if he wins the election, he's not going to be president 10 years from now. If the needs of the country change in 10 years, what we should do is, novel idea, elect somebody else. I think that was always part of the plan, honestly.
Unwaveringly Bernie and unchanging, and Hillary Clinton's willing to change her perspective and change the way that she runs the...
No. She's willing to change her rhetoric and that alone. All right, that's what she's willing to change. She's willing to change the rhetoric she uses and the positions that she takes in order to get the votes of people like you who are making this pragmatic calculation.
Country, based on how people feel about issues, and actually listen to people and change her mind with whatever's popular.
I'm sure that Bernie Sanders listens to the people, all right? No politician can listen to all the people because, if you're, let's say, Joe Blow president, you're walking around, you're talking to people, you might have people come up to you and be like, when we gonna get rid of all the fucking Mexicans? And, if you're Donald Trump, you're like, soon.
Yeah.
If you're Bernie Sanders, you'd be like, never? I mean, you can't always follow the constituency. What Hillary Clinton, but what I don't understand is, I showed you specific examples in that video of times when Hillary went with what was popular and she was dead fucking wrong. Because guess what? Just because an idea is popular doesn't make it fucking right. Doesn't mean it's a good idea. Everybody understands that, I think. Well, most people probably understand it.
Are you still going to want someone who's locked into their ways for their entire career?
I don't think, I don't think Bernie Sanders is locked into his ways. I think that he has a set of core principles that he stands on. All right? When you say locked into his ways, it makes him sound like he's just incapable of changing his mind, not capable of evolving on issues. I'm sure he has done that. But when he's done it because of natural, organically occurring reasons, not because he stuck his finger out and saw which way the wind was blowing and decided to go that way.
And doesn't compromise one bit? Or are you going to want somebody who actually represents people the way that our government is supposed to fucking work?
If that's what you want, then why even have a representative democracy? Why not just have a referendum? Everything is just decided by popular vote. If we're just going to elect politicians that should just go, all their opinions should just be based on polling numbers, then we don't even need fucking politicians. We can just look at polling numbers and say, well, this is what America wants. Let's do it.
Next, the next point that TJ makes in his video is that Hillary isn't a good leader because she follows polls. And this is a direct quote from TJ. A true leader can convince people of their vision. That's what he said. In the same fucking video, TJ shows a clip of Bernie Sanders talking to a fucking empty room.
Yeah, but that's the point. He was talking to an empty room in 1991. Now he's packing huge events where he's getting 20 and 30,000 people showing up in attendance. Sometimes more. That's kind of the point. Here's a guy who continued to make his case and make his case and make his case and make his case, and now America has finally come around to his message. Now, is it all because of him out there convincing them? Obviously not, but he was part of that. He was part of the chorus of liberal, progressive voices out there changing hearts and changing minds on social issues, on economic issues, so on and so forth. That's kind of the point. He was speaking to an empty room in 1991. Okay? 1991. We're talking about, more than 20 years ago.
I was 10 years old in 1991.
Yeah, and I was 6.
Yeah.
How fucking effective was that as a leader for him to convince people to change, and follow his vision?
Well, the fact that he's now very popular shows that I think that it has been effective over time.
He's talking to fucking empty rooms for 30 fucking years, Bernie Sanders did not change the American public's opinion into supporting him. Bernie Sanders held that opinion for 30 fucking years, and nobody listened to him. And then something called the Occupy movement came along and changed people's minds about certain political issues.
No, that's bullshit. Sorry. It's way more complicated than that. Bernie Sanders was part of a chorus of liberal voices, all right? I think that I've had growing awareness of who Bernie Sanders was over the past, 7 or 8 years.
For me, it's been about the last 7 or 8 years because I used to listen to. Do you remember Air America? Do you remember that? It was like the liberal radio network. Yeah, there used to have the Tom Hartman program on there, and now they have it on. It's on like channels now, even though Air America doesn't exist anymore. And every Sunday, I think it was every Sunday, he would have Bernie Sanders on.
Yeah, I just started seeing him crop up in like documentaries I was watching. I don't remember where I first saw him, but he just started entering my awareness around that time. I think a lot of it had to do with the rise of the internet too, probably.
And he just happened to be the one that matched those politics that the Occupy movement were putting forward. Okay? He didn't do it. Did you hear him in the news changing minds? No. He was talking to fucking empty fucking rooms just like you showed in your fucking clip,
Actually, I
TJ.
did hear him doing that. Yeah.
So, let's see. Then TJ, dishonestly, I'm going to say, shows a clip of Senator Clinton, when she was running for senator, when she said that she would not support gay marriage in her New York Senate run. And what I'm going to say there is, do you think that Obama wants universal health care? I think he does.
Yes.
But when asked publicly, when he was trying to get a little bit of legislation passed on his Affordable Care Act, he would say things like, "Oh, sure, you can keep your insurance company if you want." 20 years from now, if he's still alive, people will ask him, was that just rhetoric? And he's going to say, fuck yeah, it was. I was candy coating that shit.
Yeah, man.
I didn't want Republicans to shoot it down.
I want my politicians to lie to me, man. That's what I want. I don't want my politicians to lie to me. I understand that they do, and I understand why they do, but I don't want them to. And I don't how do you know Hillary Clinton's heart? It would be my question. How, you say she was just lying then because she, didn't want Republicans jumping on her shit. How do you know she's not fucking lying now? If we've already established that she's a fucking liar, right? So the question is, when was she lying? Then or now? Who fucking knows? I don't. I don't see how you could.
And be able to amass enough people against this progressive idea. This was the first step towards universal health care, and we fucking took it. Because I didn't frame things as a, all or nothing fucking objective.
Yeah, you know who did frame things as an all or nothing objective? George W. Bush. Now, you might remember him as being one of the worst presidents ever, but it wasn't because he did that. It was because he got shit fucking done. You know why he got shit done? Because he just didn't give a fuck. He just went out there, said what he wanted to, did what he fucking wanted to. And if people didn't like it, he said, fuck you, I'm GW. I'm the decider.
I'm going to decide for you.
And I remember at the time, Bill Maher did a fucking commentary about, one way the Democrats have to be more like Republicans is we got to take a page out of this George W. Bush playbook and not give a fuck. I think that's exactly what someone like Bernie Sanders does. I think that's also like something that, as much as I have problems with him, Ron Paul, he was that way too. I would choose Ron Paul over anybody in the field right now except for Bernie Sanders, even though I virtually agree with him on nothing. Because at least with Ron Paul, I know where the fuck he stands. I know who he really fucking is. I know what his actual opinions are. I can actually judge them. I can weigh them out.
Jesse Ventura. How about Jesse Ventura?
Jesse Ventura.
Yeah.
I don't care that he's a crazy conspiracy nut. At least I know that he's fucking being honest. I don't want to be deceived by my politicians. If you want people to play the usual politics as usual games of, I'm going to say this, but I'm going to wink so I'm really saying this. I mean, fuck that shit. We've had enough of that. We've had enough of people playing fucking word games.
Word slaves.
You're word slaves playing language games.
Yep.
That's what you are.
Baby steps. Okay? Now, Hillary Clinton would have realized in...
I'm not a baby step guy. I'm more like a one giant leap for mankind sort of motherfucker,
that 2004 Senate run, because of polling numbers, that if she were to come out and say, oh yeah, I'm for gay marriage in New York, just blatantly, openly, she would have maybe gotten 2% more Democrats to vote for her. And she would have enraged 20% more Republicans to vote against her. And then we would have no Democrat in that senator's office.
So fucking what? Honestly, so what? What happens if there's not a Democrat in that senator's office? I mean, if you have to talk like a Republican to even get elected, and you gotta wait for the fickle fucking public to come around, then what's the fucking point? If you have to water down your liberal progressive values so much that you're kind of just a simpering moderate, the fuck does it even matter? What the fuck does it even matter? It doesn't. Do you see how it doesn't? Because if you have to talk like a Republican to get elected, you're just a Republican with a fucking D next to your name. It's all the fuck you are. Fuck baby steps. If people don't like... You know what you say to the American public? Take your fucking medicine, bitches. All right? You don't say it like that. You say it a little bit more smooth.
Take your fucking medicine.
Why, if Hillary Clinton said, I support gay marriage, and America was like, oh! Well, you know what? She could be the one now saying, I fucking supported gay marriage even when it was unpopular. I stood on principle. I'm Hillary fucking Clinton. Elect me. And you know what? I would respect her. But as it stands, I can't respect her. And I would never, ever, ever, ever want her as my leader. Donald Trump is more honest. Ben Carson is more honest. They're fucking insane. But at least all of their insanity is out there in the fucking open. Whatever kind of crazy shit is going on in Hillary's head, I don't know. I can't see it. She's not making it available. She's a focus group fucking zombie. I mean, how could you possibly want that? What is appealing about that? You have a chance. You're on the cusp of being able to give America its first truly progressive president, probably since fucking Roosevelt. And you're going to be like, nah, don't wanna. Think Hillary's more pragmatic. I mean, give me a break.
Okay. She did the hard thing. Fucking swallowed her fucking pride.
You don't know that.
And only put forth what part of her agenda she could get the opposition to not fucking mobilize again.
You have no idea what pride she swallowed or if she even has any pride to swallow or anything. You have no clue. You don't know what the fuck Hillary Clinton's like. You don't know. You don't know when she's lying and when she's telling the truth. Do you really think that you have a secret charm to get to the heart of Hillary Clinton? And you know who she really is deep down inside, behind the fucking mask? Respectfully, I would just ask, how the fuck do you know? How do you know? Let me know. Tell me by what means or methodology you have discerned that Hillary Clinton is actually this angelic being who's just a pragmatist like yourself, who, you know, holds all the same progressive values that Bernie Sanders does, but she just can't be as open about it because she's scared that if she does, she can't get the popular support necessary to become a leader and affect that change. And also, don't you see how it's kind of fucked up that you're basically saying that the only way that we can get these progressive values in office is if we basically deceive the American people? If we lie to them and, make ourselves seem as though we're different than we actually are? I'm talking about politicians here.
Against, okay? And it's very disingenuous to look at that.
No, what's disingenuous is advocating for a politician who you admit is a fucking liar. That's disingenuous, and she's disingenuous. How dare you call me disingenuous?
Past of hers, and think that she wasn't getting towards this goal of every fucking progressive issue. It didn't even matter that you chose that one. Okay? There's a lot of things that she didn't go all in on because she didn't want to mobilize the fucking enemy.
Yeah, because the Republicans aren't already mobilized against her. Guess what? If you're Hillary Clinton, Republicans already fucking hate you.
Right.
There's no point pandering to those fucks. Okay? None. No point. No fucking Republican is ever going to look at Hillary Clinton and say, yep, that's my president.
Nope.
They are more likely, mark my words, they are more likely to vote for Bernie Sanders. Because you know why? There's plenty of people on the Republican side that feel the same way I do. They look at Bernie Sanders and say, you know what? He's a fucking crazy socialist nut. But at least I believe him. At least I fucking believe what he has to say. At least I can see what he really thinks and who he really is. I think he has more of a chance of getting the cross appeal vote than Hillary Clinton does.
So, let's see.
Hey, hopefully a bunch of Republican spoilers will go to the Democratic rallies and vote for Bernie. Give you some of your own medicine. All right. I think that's enough.
Okay. So, a few weeks ago, for the first time, we released our P.O. Box address.
Yes, that's true.
I'm going to put it up on the screen right now. It's a little different than we were giving it out before. Apparently, we were putting too much information in it that we didn't have to put in. So, here is
the new simplified Drunken Peasants. The Drunken Peasants P.O. Box 767, Dublin, Ohio 43017. You can send us stuff, and we're going to show you some of the stuff we've already been sent.
Yes. Oh my fucking God. Hold on.
Should
I put you on full screen?
Yeah, go ahead and put me on full screen so I can show people the kind of stuff we received here. We told people not to send the Ebola virus, so of course someone did.
Yeah.
This little plushie is apparently a plushie of
the Ebola.
Yeah, it's the Ebola virus here. Looks more like a cat turd or something, but whatever. It's the Ebola virus, folks.
Thank you to who sent us the Ebola virus.
We got a letter here. I don't know if we should read these on air or not, but
I don't know. I would just not say names or anything like that.
Dear Drunken Peasants, how are you? It is I, the great and powerful Egghead. Wow, Egghead wrote us. I hope you enjoy this DVD of Canyon Trail. It is my family's new independent Western film. How come I wasn't in it, bitch? I love Westerns. Should have invited me. I'd have played like an outlaw or something. Or a barkeeper. I'd even be the guy that just walks up to the badass main character and is like, we don't take to your kind around here, and then gets shot in the belly or something, you know? I've always thought I'd be good at that, like as a niche. If I wanted to break into acting, I could just play the asshole in movies, you know?
Yeah,
just like the random asshole.
Total typecasting.
Right. Like, I just want to be typecasted as the asshole who the hero kicks the shit out of to make him look cool. It is my family's new independent Western. Trust me when I say you will enjoy it when you are trashed. Hope you can get some enjoyment out of it. As an editor, it was a painful experience. Please do a review of it on your show. Thank you and have a good day. Sincerely, Sincerely, Egghead.
Oh, my God, TJ.
Well, I didn't say his whole name, so it doesn't matter. But we have the DVD. We have the DVD here.
Yeah, we do.
Here it is. It's,
I guess it was made by Egghead's family. Hold on, let me...
I mean, I guess he just said he was the editor, so he'll look it up anyway, what his name is.
Yeah.
On IMDb. This is Canyon Trail, starring Tom Ward is in this.
It's hard to show it. It's hard to show it to the camera because of the lights.
Glimmer, glare, whatever. Tom Ward, Rick Simpson, and Larry W. Simpson.
Yeah.
Canyon Trail. Canyon Trail. Let's see what the back says. A vicious group of outlaws is... I could have been one of those outlaws, man. As long as I don't have to ride a horse, is terrorizing ranchers in the purgatory country of Colorado Territory. Young Christina Henderson has been kidnapped in a deadly trap planned for Stormy, Texas, and Cimarron. Wow, those are their names? Can U.S. Marshal Trevor Cooper and Deputy Walt Tyler help them find Christina and discover the identity of the boss of this ruthless gang? Could have been me. Could have been me. This family Western was filmed in beautiful high definition in the mountains of Colorado, New Mexico, and the plains of Oklahoma and Kansas. Who gives a shit? Anyway, this is Canyon Trail, and maybe we'll watch it at some point. We got some other shit. What is this? Nothing. That's nothing. What is this? Oh, it's a picture of Scotty and Cena. Scotty as the egg bitch.
As the egg bitch.
As the egg bitch. And Cena saying, you're going to be a lot more than that tonight. Oh, well, I guess you have to read Scotty's dialogue first. Scotty says, I'm the egg bitch. And Cena says, you're going to be a lot more than that tonight. And, yeah, I like Scotty's shirt, or his tutu. It says egg bitch on it. There's a broken egg.
That's actually showing up really well on the camera. Like when you hold it up and the camera adjusts, you can see it pretty well.
You guys are awesome. Your show really helps me get through the week. Well, you're all awesome except Scotty. And then he drew a picture of an egg. Fuck you, Scotty. And TJ, you're garbage. Go die of AIDS. And Ben, you incompetent piece of shit. Ban Ben. And Paul, well, I love you, Paul. Peace the fuck out.
I'll tell you what, the show works pretty well now.
Works pretty damn well. Haven't
had technical issues in a while.
If I can't say so myself.
Pretty competent.
Okay, and the last one we got here is...
oh, no.
This is from...
Oh, and you know what? This motherfucker owes me 66 cents, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
I don't know if I'll read this whole thing. It's pretty long, but this is from The Remarkable Republican. You guys remember The Remarkable Republican? He exposed Scotty as gay and all that.
A gay Christian.
Dear Scotty, when I expose you as a gay... Well, maybe we should wait till Scotty's here for this part.
No.
No?
No, that's fine.
All right. When I exposed you as a gay Christian on the Drunken Peasants podcast last year, I was disappointed in your response. You acted childishly and challenged me to a fight. I was not challenging you to a street brawl like some kind of inner city child, but rather I was challenging you to be a man and take responsibility for your own beliefs and practices. What really pissed me off is when I made a follow-up question video, which you and your handlers, Ben and TJ, proceeded to ignore.
Handlers?
You always sit in on DP discussions and add fire from the flanks into people trying to debate TJ without ever having to face scrutiny yourself. That was all fine and well when you were just TJ's teenage brother, but now you're an adult and it is time for you to become a man. I believe in giving a man a fishing pole instead of a caught fish, but in this case, I can't send you a pair of testicles. To make up for this and help you symbolically, I have enclosed a pair of my underwear so that you can have a talisman of masculinity to draw strength from.
Ugh.
You cannot. It's here. They are.
Is there skid marks in?
Let's check for skid marks. No, there's no skid marks. I don't believe that any man has actually worn these underwear.
Tighty whities.
They smell new.
Oh God, you're putting your face on them.
Oh, I'll wear them on my fucking head. I don't care.
Oh my God.
I don't give a fuck, bitch.
You have no idea where that came from. It could have came from anywhere.
Yeah, it sure could have. But I know where it is now.
But anyway, apparently...
Well, there's more, though. Okay. Hold on.
All right.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he said he's sending his underwear to achieve manhood. If you want to prove you're a man, you should debate me, blah, blah, blah. He's not doing that, so fuck.
I know what we can do. We can give that letter to Scotty, and if Scotty wants to respond to it, he will. But yeah, apparently I had to pay money because there wasn't enough postage on that fucking...
Wow. So you actually had to pay for that?
Well, I could have had it sent back, but it was only 66 cents, so I was like, fuck it, whatever.
So, Remarkable Republican, you owe us
66 cents,
buddy.
Come on.
You need to learn how to put adequate postage on your packages, man.
Yep. Yeah, from now on, all inadequate postage will be sent back.
Yeah, you can't be doing that shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, Remarkable Republican.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, Remarkable Republican. Fuck you.
If you want to send us anything, feel free to.
Yeah, man.
We'll talk about it on the show.
Don't send us money, though.
Yeah.
We hate that. Hate it to our very cores. No prayers for Paris, fake Paris attack.
Yep. This one's a winner.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Hey, everybody. I am Queen Ra.
See if it's like that for others.
Hi everybody, Stefan Molyneux from Freedom Radio with an update on the Paris radical Islamic terrorist attacks.
I think they can hear it though, but we can't.
We can't hear it.
Yeah, I'm gonna fix that.
Bizarre.
Yeah, that.
Ha 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 ha.
I think we'll be able to hear it now.
Oh yeah.
Nope. Hey everybody, I am Queen Ra. Okay, and I'm back to natural, you guys.
We can't hear it.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with the story.
I think we're gonna.
Anyway, we're here to talk about.
Take a quick break. We will be back while we sort through these issues here, and we'll be back in like 10. Send us stuff. Write us a letter. Draw us a picture.
Something else to do with doesn't stop, it won't stop, and you just let them know. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to close my eyes. It's done it! It's done it! I go day to day with the sleepless overlap. Tired days, restless nights, too much to do to relax. Go all day, go all night, when will it end? Come my bed, come do it all again. No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to close my eyes. It's done it! Maybe it's just me. I want a lot out of life. There's a lot of nights I don't get too much sleep. A lot of days I get up early. I want a little bit more out of this life. Well, fuck it! Here we go again! No matter how hard I try, I can't seem to close my eyes. It's done it! It's done it! I know you're just a kid, but I'm not fucking around. You can't push your luck, how could you stole the ground? Not talking about gold, a fucking crown of thorns. Put on double you, living if it's strong. When the gold bottom runs through you, just a Jew. When the world takes you to fight, times are changing. So are you. Destroy your bodies and ignore the truth. Your tensions are bad, along with our words. Look at yourself, it's time that you learn. Can you wake up or is it too late? How long is it meant to regulate that part of your mind that has been slain? Popular's using you that day. You're so caught up in prefabricated eyes that you just a Jew. When the world sends you to pride, times are justice and liberty. No, just get along. We now believe in the freedom to speak and freedom of free speech. That's the reason we believe in everything we preach. And I believe that I can lead these people to see peace. I believe that we'll achieve everything that we reach for, baby. But don't misconceive it, cause I just don't appreciate seeing my people deceived, seeing my people grieving at these evil leads. We go we so naive that my beliefs are never even received. When I believe that we the people need to show appreciation for God and His creation, which provides alleviation, artistic innovation, relaxation, meditation, elevation. It's a taking a vacation in your basement. We roll past the cuts that come too far, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? And we'll force where we don't belong, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? Yeah. How many patriots will find it alarming that we have been harming and starving our armies, that we have been sending our men to defend our offenses against the defenseless again? I'm offended, but yo, it's not about pride. I just think it's about time that we took it outside, surrounding outline Capitol Hill and Capitol Hill. It looks like Amityville. What's happened will kill as if it was Everett Hill. Till everybody screaming like the rabbit cavities fill. You had to be real, you need to figure how you would feel if you were in a rash attack and saw your family get killed. The tragedy's real. We broken now, we have to rebuild. No matter how many innocent people have to be killed, no matter how much innocent blood that we happen to spill, we have to rebuild. We have to, we will, and we will. We will take it too far, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? We'll force where we don't belong, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? Ain't that America? And I don't wanna get any hate mail telling me that I don't love my country enough. I just love it too much to sit back and watch it get flushed down the drain. Raise them light as if you know what I'm saying. It ain't about legalization, it's about appreciating nature as the foundation for this nation. We should embrace it, not just take it for granted. My God, He planted it around the planet. Yeah, some people find me to be unpatriotic, but then again, some people think that weed's a narcotic. Yo, what strikes me is I find it slightly ironic. Antibiotics are more habit-forming than bodies. They pop so many pills that it almost looks robotic. It's beyond addictive, aspirin is almost hypnotic. Without it, every single thing would turn chaotic. We'd all be psychotically fried and neurotic. But back to the plot, oh my God, I forgot it. I thought I was dropping it out, I should probably stop it. I got it on top it, the plotting and chronic. I'm honestly honest, so I thank God that I got it, because without it, it would just not be. It's just me, these weekends and these three things. So trust me when I say we're liberty. We let that red, white, and blue light over fields of green. We will take it too far, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? And we'll force where we don't belong, but ain't that America? Ain't that America? Ain't that America? Ain't that America? Oh, jam it, jam it.
Yeah. Ain't that America? Man, weed isn't even legal here. What a shitty country.
I know. Yeah, so we're back. Sorry, we had to restart the fucking computer.
Yep.
That was the only way. We couldn't hear. It looked like everyone else could hear everything fine, but we could not hear what the computer was playing. And yes, the chat is open. Be good. And now we're going to play the video that we were trying to play earlier.
Yay.
And we can hear it now.
Everybody,
I still can't hear it. No, I'm
am
just fucking.
Queen Ra. Okay? And I'm back to natural, you guys.
What are you the queen of? Question. I guess you can't answer. She's just a video.
Anyway, that has nothing to do with the story. Anyway,
No, it sure
we're
doesn't.
here to talk about the fake Paris attacks.
Ah.
Okay.
We're here to talk about the fake Paris attacks.
Yeah, the fake Paris attacks.
So first of all, a bunch of people died, so you really shouldn't say it was fake or smile about it. But I guess you don't care because you're a piece of shit.
So I'm just gonna say a couple of things about how I feel, and if you would like to comment, please comment down below. Negative or positive. I mean, you know, it's a free country, supposedly.
Supposedly, huh?
Anyway, so yesterday, all of the news.
You know, I shouldn't talk shit. There's a few words I can't pronounce worth a fuck.
Like eggs.
Yeah, I say, you know, I can't pronounce eggs right.
Rum.
People want me to say eggs, but I say eggs.
What about my rum?
Yeah, room. I say room weird sometimes. I say it more like rum. Unless I say that word weird, because I usually say it more like unless. I had a tough time with Star Trek for a long time because I always wanted to say Star Trek.
Star Trek. God.
Yeah. The word melted. I always want to say milted.
Do you say milk?
Milk. Yeah, I do kind of say it like milk, like one with an E, almost like with an E.
M-E-L-K.
So I guess I shouldn't talk shit about her supposedly we live in a free country. Supposedly the Paris attacks were real. Supposedly.
Everywhere was stating that there were attacks on Paris. First of all, let me tell you something. One channel said 23 people died. Then one said 149 people died. And somebody said 13 people died. I mean, this is all around the same time. It's not like, oh, this was an hour
Different
later,
sources.
whatever. Like,
yeah, you realize that when a big event happens, like news agencies are scrambling to report things as fast as possible, and oftentimes in their quest to be the first to report something, they kind of throw a lot of the whatever journalistic integrity the media has, which, you know, I think we can all agree at this point is pretty little. They throw that out the window and just report anything that comes across their desk. So yeah, of course it's a big terror attack. There's no official person going around keeping track of how many are dead that all of these news agencies can just go to and ask. I mean, they're all basing it on different agencies reporting different things. And yeah. So you're going to have counts that are really high, and you're going to have counts that are really low, especially when something first starts. It takes a while. It takes a few days for the actual death toll to really come out and be appraised.
that actually on the internet it said 140 people died. So basically, how many people goddamn died is what I want to know.
All right, well let's ask Siri. Maybe she knows. Siri never knows shit, in my opinion.
Hey, TJ, there's people in the chat that keep saying that you can't pronounce the name of that animal that's kind of like a dog, like a big dog.
A big dog.
Well, you know, like dogs are like the descendants of them.
Wolf?
Yeah.
Like wolves?
Yeah, they say you can't say that. I don't know. It sounded fine to me.
Wolf. I think I'm saying it okay.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe there's times when I say it weird. Sometimes I say a word okay on its own, but then in a sentence I'll fuck it up. But anyway, yeah. Hey Siri, how many people died in the Paris attacks? Siri, wake up.
Yeah, this is iPhone at work for you.
Hey Siri, you fucking bitch. Man, she's not listening to me.
TJ has become an iPhone fanboy.
Yep, it's true. I'm a fanboy of the iPhone. Hey Siri, how many people died in the Paris attacks? Checking. Okay, all right, here we go. Yeah, you're useless. You should have just told me, you fucking piece of shit. She's really good at math, though. Oh, man, it's the New York Times. I have to log in. Fuck this. It was around 140.
Wow, good work.
My investigative journalism knows no bounds. It's easily fucking findable out there. Well, not with fucking the shitty iPhone, I guess. Siri doesn't know.
Second of all, where's the blood and the guts and the brains scattered all over the floor and where's all of this? All I seen was fake bodies. And when I say fake bodies, I got to see personally what is going on. I can't say, oh, well, that's a dead body, it's leg. I mean, that could be a dummy leg.
Yeah, I mean, it could, but it's probably not. I mean, there's plenty of people that were there. Like, one of the attacks happened during a fucking busy concert. You know, more people escaped and survived than were killed. You know, so that means there's like thousands of witnesses, including the bands that were playing, which was Queens of the Stone Age and Eagles of Death Metal.
Yep. The Eagles of Death
Metal.
Which are not death metal.
Yeah. But, you know, like, how do you account for all that? Like, if you actually met one of the witnesses, would you deny to their face that it happened, or would you back down? That's what I really wonder. Would you be like, oh, you got paid by the government? Yeah, you was supposedly in them attacks, but I don't think you was.
Well, people are asking for a screenshot.
Do it. She looks like she's having a really powerful orgasm right now. Screenshot.
And I would like to say to the television of the news station, remember back in the day when y'all used to do horror films and y'all had the blood and the guts and everything back in the 80s? I'm gonna need y'all to bring that back. Okay? That was some good horror films. Okay, now you got the what if horror films. It's not even scary no more. I'm gonna need y'all to bring the graphics back.
What? What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
She's
what?
insane.
You're like you just went from being an idiot to being insane.
Yeah.
You just crossed the threshold. I don't know if you just are so stupid that you're crazy or so crazy that you're stupid, but you're both stupid and crazy. I've figured that much out.
Okay? Because this little bit is I'm not really getting this. Anyway. They also stated that they found an ISIS passport, or a passport with ISIS on it, or something like that, beside a dead body.
But if it was really ISIS, it would have melted, so...
Now, this body blown to shreds, but the passport was still there.
That's completely plausible. What is implausible about that? I mean, we don't even know what kind of condition the passport was in, but even if it was in perfect condition, that could easily happen. What about that to you is like, oh no, that's bullshit. That can't be real. By the way, is she saying it's an ISIS passport? I'm pretty sure ISIS doesn't issue its own passport.
No.
Pretty sure. I'm like 90% sure that if you tried to go anywhere with a passport and like, yeah, here's my passport, and it, has the ISIS logo on the front, most countries are going to be like, no thanks.
Yeah.
Go back to Syria or Iraq or wherever.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe,
whatever.
I don't care.
Right.
Whatever.
Anyway. I just need for y'all to do better. Another thing I want to know. It's their own fault. It is their fault they died because they gave away their rights to carry firearms in that country. Didn't they?
So wait, it's fake, but it's their fault they died. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. And people with guns showed up and took these terrorists out. And one of the guys, when he got shot, it just it made his fucking suicide vest blow up. These guys were wearing explosives. So it's possible that someone shooting them might have ended up in more people dying if they were just happened to be in the right place with enough people around them. But I mean, I really don't know what France's gun policies are. I imagine they're not super liberal. or I guess conservative. Since I mean liberal in the sense of freedom oriented. I'll tell you one thing about France though. When we went to France, there's there's a bunch of cops walking around France carrying like fucking machine guns and shit, you know, or automatic fucking rifles or whatever. I'm not a gun guy, but big fucking guns that shoot really fast. Those kind of guns. That's what they're like.
They're like Uzis or something.
Yeah, like they're cops just walk around with those motherfuckers, you know? They're like soldiers over there. Like, you know, our police over here is kind of militarized. Their police over there is really fucking militarized.
Very, very militarized.
You know, and so, I mean, I would say that France is pretty well protected in terms of having guns to thwart people doing attacks like this. I mean, their police are pretty fucking well armed, even just walking around casually. Now, I don't know if that's every cop that walks around with those. Probably not. But, yeah, I saw a lot of cops with big fucking guns.
And they got surveillance.
And by the way, if people having guns, if people having the freedom to carry around guns was going to really be a big detriment to these attacks, another screen cap.
I think people in the chat are like fapping to this video.
Oh yeah. Tell me more about how the attacks were fake. Yeah. Oh yeah, so fucking fake. Oh god, yeah, no one died. Oh, and if they did, they deserve it. Yeah. Oh, show me those big black milk orbs again. Ah. Get out of the way, peasants. Want to see them titties. I don't care that she's a psychotic idiot. I just want to fuck them big old titties.
First of all, they got surveillance. You guys.
Yeah, but the point I was making is that we have plenty of guns in America. It hasn't stopped shootings from happening all the fucking time.
You ever heard about this big eye that's in the middle of like Europe or whatever, or I don't know, one of those countries? Anyway, they have those cameras out there. So you're telling me that this eye that sees everything, I have to put up a photo of put you up something because when I seen this eye sees everything. So the government sees everything.
What the hell is she talking about?
The government sees everything? No, it doesn't.
This big eye?
They got a big eye that sees all, and knows all.
Is she talking about the London Eye? It's just a big Ferris wheel. It's like a Ferris wheel on steroids.
And what government? Is she talking about the French government?
I don't know.
Is she talking about our government?
She said a big eye in one of those European countries or whatever.
Yeah, man, there's a big eye just looking everywhere, seeing everything. Maybe she's talking about the eye in the Illuminati pyramid. Maybe that's what she's talking about. The all-seeing eye.
What I'm saying is the government saying this, y'all. Don't be like, oh well, and they don't, girl. Bye. I do not care. They seen it. They know. Just not like 9/11. They knew about it. They wanted it to happen.
Okay, you realize this attack happened in a different country with a different government, right? Right? It did.
They're even supplying weapons in other countries. And when I say that, they're like, oh, well, how do you know? First of all, where...
No, you actually are right about that part. We are supplying weapons to other countries.
Where do black people get the boats and other planes for these big shipments of drugs to come in? Where do we get these?
Okay, is she a troll? Because, like, that last statement...
I think, no, I mean, she might be a troll. There's a chance, sure. But I think what it really boils down to is she's insane. She's absolutely...
Even if she's a troll, she's insane?
Batshit insane. Well, I mean, if she's a troll, then maybe she's just being clever. And,
right.
You know, whatever. But if these opinions are genuine, then yes, she's a fucking loon. I don't know what... I mean, like, every once in a while she'll say something that I kind of know what she's talking about, and then she'll veer off into territories of, like, what? Like, I've heard some real head-scratchers in this fucking video. But at least our fanboys can jerk off to her big tits.
Yeah, there's, like, requests to take us off the screen.
Take us off the screen again. Go ahead and do it. Give them
one last time before we move on to the next video.
You get one more. You get one more. There you go. There they are.
Yay.
You got
I mean,
it.
like, there's not like plenty of tits on the internet that you can see anywhere else.
You know, it's hard to find them, Ben. It's hard to find tits on the internet.
Really hard.
Really hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the video that Brett Keane made and like released this like the very hour that Paul predicted that he would come back.
Maybe Brett and Paul are secretly collaborators in a comedy team.
I know, it almost seems that way. Like they're putting us on.
They're like Abbott and Costello.
They're geniuses. If that's the case.
They're Keen and Ego. Yeah.
Keenigo. All right. Oh.
Well, he don't get in trouble for it, so.
Turn me loose. Turn me loose. I gotta do it my way.
Yeah, what a talent.
Turn me loose.
Turn me loose.
I gotta
Turn
do
my
it
asshole
way.
loose.
Or no way at all.
Oh,
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You've been listening to Brett Keane from God TV Radio. Me attempting my singing voice with Loverboy, Turn Me Loose. And today we're going to talk about resurrections and what it means to return from the grave, what it means to stand up and state, hey, look what I've done for the human race.
Like in The Walking Dead.
Look what I have done for life and mankind itself. For those out there who may have trouble believing in Jesus Christ.
Hold on. I thought that you prayed to God and God told you in the form of your strike not being overturned that you should stop making videos on YouTube.
But then God came back to him a couple days later and was like, you know, Brett, I was just testing your faith. Like when Abraham took Isaac up the mountain, it was like that. Your YouTube channel was Isaac. You showed me you were willing to do it, Brett. Now go forth renewed and spread the gospel.
Yeah, the gospel of the amazing atheist is a piece of shit.
The gospel of Keane.
You need to ask yourself, shouldn't you trust Jesus Christ? Shouldn't you trust the things that he says that he's done? Shouldn't you trust the very miracles? Every day that you exist is a day that you can account for a miracle. There are literally trillions of things that could go wrong in the universe. And the very fact that you were able to wake up this morning without the universe growing cold and dying or something horrible, a giant planet killer taking us out, some kind of...
So what happens if that does happen? Do you just, at that point, do you admit you were wrong? Like, oh, I guess it was just a matter of time. Like, let's say the comet is hurtling towards Earth. It's going to kill us all. There's nothing we could do to stop it. Are you going to be like, well, this is part of God's plan? Or are you going to be like, I guess what I said was bullshit? Well, you've never said that, so that'd be a first. Maybe it would take a comet hurtling towards the Earth to get those words to exit your lips.
Cosmic junk or solar radiation. And, well, human nature itself.
Yeah.
Did you know that every single second of the day someone dies? So sooner or later...
Yeah, so the miracle kind of ended for them, you know? Every day you're alive, it's a miracle. So the day when you die
situation.
Is when the miracle just ends, or... Well, no, I guess that's when you go to heaven. Or hell and burn for all time.
That's the case. That people are murdered and die and die from other human beings, die from the environment, die from pollution, die from what they eat, die from what someone might do to you.
Uh-huh.
It seems like the very fact that you have simply survived enough to wake up this morning and be able to watch this video tells me that you are a miracle within yourself.
Not really. I mean, like, most people tend to live the same average-ish lifespan. I mean, you know, some die younger, some die older, but there's like a general age that people tend to live towards. It's not really miraculous. It's just what's always been going on. I mean, the life expectancy's gotten a little higher as medical advances and shit have happened. But,
Yes.
you know, there's always been a life expectancy. There's always been, you know, you're a human being, and this is about how long human beings last. And, you know, most of us will get to around that point. Some of us won't. Some of us will far exceed it. Who knows?
And you probably ask me, well, Brett, what about the people who died?
Yeah.
Well, I consider that promotion. That's the reason why on the video.
So, hold on.
Well, so death is always promotion? I mean, what if you're going to hell? I mean, that's not much of a promotion.
So if someone like came and murdered someone you knew, you'd be like, oh, thanks for promoting them for me.
Thanks for being the hand of God and promoting this person to heaven. Yeah. I don't think you would have that attitude. I really don't.
I did before this, I state, I've been promoted, God bless. I think that whenever people die, they will have an afterlife. Unless, of course, you're an atheist who believes otherwise, that you'll simply die and become cosmic junk floating around, more like a poop crumb in a toilet, just waiting to be flushed.
Yeah.
How eloquent.
You're just, if atheism just believes that we're all poop crumbs in the toilet, waiting to be flushed down.
But that's the good news. That's the
too much French vanilla.
good news about Jesus Christ.
A French vanilla
as long
poop
as you have
crumb.
faith, as long as you have hope, not only believe in God, but also believe in yourself and believe in your own rationality and logic. Believe in the heart and the brain that God created for you. Then
Hey, I kind of want to ask Brett Keane. I don't know if he'll ever see this or not, but if you do see this, and maybe people could tweet this to him or something, how do you feel about G-Man saying on our show that you, Brett Keane, are hellbound? That you're going to go to hell? He says you're not a real Christian and that when you die, you're going to hell, Brett.
Oh, man, we should have them on our show to debate each other.
Yeah, it might be interesting.
That would be unbelievably wonderful.
They'll probably just make peace again. And 2 days later, they'll be at each other's throats again.
I know, and that's just, you know.
I mean, Brett, this guy who knows you well, who was your friend for, you know, a long time, now says that you're going to hell. I mean...
And that you're not a Christian.
Yeah, that you're not a real Christian. I mean... What do you say to that?
I mean, normally when G-Man says that about someone, I think it's no true Scotsman, but I think he's right about Brett.
You do?
I don't think Brett is really a Christian.
You think he's just faking?
I think so.
Faking to bring home the bacon? I don't know. Maybe. I can't say for sure. I don't know what's going on in Brett Keane's head.
you're fine. I suspect that the reason why faith is so strong is because faith is what makes the world go round.
What?
Faith is the most powerful...
Yeah, do you guys know that?
Faith is what makes the world go around.
Yeah. Science might have some other ideas, but they're wrong.
...substance that one could ever have. If a person goes into a race or they go into some kind of challenge believing that they have no chance whatsoever, then you've already failed before you've even begun. You can't do science and you can't live this life. And you can't trust people unless you believe in yourself and you have hope that things will go just as predicted or things go as you would hope that they would go.
Brett, I mean, I'm not even trying to be insulting with this, but when you look at your life now, do you really genuinely feel as though things have gone as you hoped or predicted they would? I kind of have a feeling that if I talk to... 20-year-old Brett Keane and asked him where he'd want to be, I don't know, I think you're 38 or something.
Really?
Yeah, he's really
oh my God.
He's way younger than you would think.
I know, he is.
I think he's like 38, 39, something like that. If I asked 20-year-old Brett, where do you want to be in 20 years? I mean, I kind of feel like 20-year-old Brett would be like, I'm going to be a fucking rock star or something.
Yep.
I don't feel like you'd be like, well, I'm going to make videos on YouTube that no one watches, and my only claim to fame will be that the channel I had 9 years ago was kind of successful by the standards of that time.
I'm an agoraphobic situation.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't even mean to be insulting with this question. I really don't. But do you honestly believe? Like, are you really where you thought you would be? Are you really where you wanted to be in life? I mean, I guess you could point to some things you have, like you got your wife and you got your kids and all that. But, I mean, surely that's not all you wanted for yourself. I refuse to believe that you're happy. You've never really shown any indication of it. I don't think that you would keep needing to make these YouTube channels if you were. Especially not YouTube channels that continuously focus more on stirring drama, more on starting shit with other people, very little to do with... I mean, back in the day when you were doing the atheist channels, very few of your videos ended up being about atheism anymore. Now you're doing the Christian thing. Very few of your videos are about Christianity. To your credit, this one is. I like this new direction where you're actually talking about the theology.
Yeah, this is the first video in a long time.
Like, I can actually respect this a lot more because you're actually talking about what you supposedly believe.
Yeah, and the title actually has to do with the video. It's not like The Amazing Atheist and Scotty from the Drunken Peasants and Paul's Ego in the title, and then like in the video that's like nothing. It has nothing to do with any of that.
Yeah.
You were doing that all the fucking time.
So I support this. I mean, I really, that's why I'm trying to be a little bit more respectful than usual, because I kind of hope he continues on this direction of actually talking about Christianity. We'll see.
If there's no hope, if there's no faith, then what is the point of this world? What is the point of life? Everyone at all times has some kind of faith or belief.
Mm-hmm.
But if you put your faith in people that you know that you can't trust, then you would be foolish. And that is one of the reasons.
Irony. I kind of I'm of the opinion that people make their own meaning or purpose in life, including Christians, including people who talk about how there's some great objective meaning. I don't think they're tapping into anything authentic. I don't think there is a God. I don't think that when they pray and they feel the presence, I don't think they're actually feeling the presence. I think that's a feeling that comes from within themselves, because that's their found purpose, or the purpose that was assigned to them through indoctrination or whatever. But I do believe that human beings are capable of having a sense of their own purpose in the world, and that it's very much subjective, but I don't think the subjectivity of it robs it of its power. If you truly believe in your purpose, if you truly accept whatever your personal meaning of life is, and you really follow it, then I believe that it doesn't matter whether you know that it's only a subjective thing that exists within yourself. I think it's profoundly more honest to make that admission than it is to persist in the idea that, this is coming from some higher power than myself. Now, there may be higher powers out there than ourselves. Maybe there's some super smart alien beings or something. Or maybe there's some kind of God that's beyond anything that we've ever conceived of and has nothing to do with any of the fucking current religions. But I don't believe that we human beings have any means of communicating with those forces or beings or whatever, if they're out there at all. There's no way to connect to that I can see. I think that you can only control what goes on in your own mind, and even then only to a limited extent. Yeah. I think we're bringing a patron on.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him on. I had to get back into Skype and everything.
Yeah.
It says we have a connection problem with them.
Seems weird considering our strength on the stream is pretty good. Oh, well.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm just going to... Let's keep playing. Oop.
Reasons why I don't trust atheists whatsoever. When they state that there is no God, They're basically claiming and asserting for you, making a positive claim that they know enough about the universe to dictate whether intelligent life can exist or not. Anybody that is that arrogant and prideful that can claim that things don't exist out in the universe, based upon what? Most of the atheists I've met have never even made it through high school. Most of them, they don't have any kind of philosophical major.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I don't really agree with that. I mean, I personally didn't finish high school, so whatever.
Right.
But I feel like most people I've talked to that are atheists have finished high school. But, I mean, whether they have or not, it's an unfair criticism. I mean, Brett himself was an atheist for the majority of his YouTube career. I don't think he would apply these criticisms to himself. I really don't. Maybe he would in some general sense now to make it sound like, but, you know, he was the same person then that he is now. Nothing about Brett Keane has changed through the power of religion. He just tells himself a different line.
I think we'll get this. Hey, what's up?
Not much. Not fucking much.
Okay.
Patreon.
I know a lot of people in the chat thought I would be Jim Ass. No, I'm sorry, I have to disappoint you.
Yeah, it's not Jim Ass.
You could be Jim Ass-esque.
Well, I guess. That wouldn't be too hard. I just need to shout incoherent sentences every now and then.
Do it. All right, so we're watching a Brett Keane video. I don't know if we're sharing screens.
How amazing.
I don't know if we're sharing screens with you or not, but...
we'll do that.
Share the screen.
I think it's this one.
You seeing that?
I wish I didn't, but yes, I see it.
Okay.
All right.
Here's nothing. They are simply people on the internet making money selling t-shirts, so what the hell do they know about the...
Speaking of that, buy our shirts. I actually don't think there's any on sale right now, but...
I mean, they're always technically on sale, but there's no open campaigns right now.
Right, so you can go buy them anyway.
Oh, and by the way, our Patreon guest is the same person that was on when we had Brett Keane on.
Yeah, he is.
Yep.
Indeed, I am. It was such an amazing conversation to have with a brick wall.
Did you like Brett?
No, not even a little bit.
Not even a little? You don't even have that Paul's ego-esque, like, you gotta love him kind of thing.
Kind of, but not really, no.
Okay. You were just a mean guy.
Universities are not people who are ever going to get on a rocket and go out and explore space. It's
because you're going to do that, Brett. I can see it right now.
Yeah, Brett's the one on the rocket.
He's making the rocket right now.
It's in his backyard. That's why he's so tired and lying in bed all the time, because he's working on his rocket.
Mm-hmm.
They can go to the moon.
People complain about the suffering and pain in the world, but they're too busy selling t-shirts on the internet to do anything about it. God created us all with the ability and function to be able to save each other and help each other. But for some people, that just isn't an interest of theirs.
Remember how earlier in the show we were raising money for Galen's dental surgery and stuff?
Yeah.
It's probably a fake campaign just to make money.
Yeah, Galen's jaw is fine. He just wants some money off of people. He's just like, about time I get mine. No, I can attest Galen's been pretty fucked up for a while now. That's why you haven't had him on the show in ages, because his health's just been so poor.
Yeah, he has other issues, too, from what I understand.
Poor bastard. In fact, just today I heard he was so fucked up from pain that he ended up falling again and injuring his hip.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, man.
Yeah, I saw the bruise. Pretty nasty. Get Galen some money so he can get his shit fixed and hopefully come back on the show and piss everyone off again. But yeah, and also, I mean, like, I did thing for charity water. I mean, even Brett Keane, I think, was involved in a few charities back in the day as an atheist.
He even talked about your charity shit in one of his recent videos within the past few months, and he pretty much demonstrated that he had no fucking clue what you actually did or what it was even for.
Is that even surprising, though? I mean, the point is that there's plenty of charitable atheists and there's plenty of stingy Christians. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I'm pretty generous giving to charities, not just publicly, but I mean, I fucking donate to causes and shit all the time. Sometimes money just burns a hole in my pocket, and when I can't figure out a way to spend it, I just give it to some poor people or some cancer research or shit, so I could feel good about myself, since I'm such an asshole, you know?
One thing that atheists like to claim is that they don't need religion or they don't need God or a soul in order to be good. Well, can you define for us what good is? Can you explain to the God believers out there why it is that you think that you can be good without any intrinsic meaning or purpose?
Oh my God. How many times we got to hear this objective morality argument? I mean, look, just from like the first point about this, all of you Christians have different ideas about this supposedly objective God-given good and what it is and what it means and what it entails. Just for the fact that you and G-Man both identify as Christians, and yet G-Man had told us right here on this show that you're going to hell. You know why? Because your idea of the objective good of God and his idea about the objective good of God are two different ideas. You know why? Because they're not actually objective. They're completely subjective. Just like my idea of good. Just like Ben's idea of good. Just like everyone's fucking idea of good is subjective. You know, and you can sit there and say all day, wouldn't it be nice if we had some objective moral standard? Yeah, maybe it would. But we fucking don't. I mean, just wishing it were so is empty. It doesn't mean anything. Anybody can wish for any fucking number of fucking things. I wish there was objective morality. Well, that's a nice wish, but you got to live in fucking reality, Brett.
And good, according to you, doesn't even exist, nor the definition of justice. According to your worldview, you are nothing more than chemicals, nothing more than a bottle of Windex. How is a bottle of Windex good?
I didn't know I was a bottle of Windex. When was I a bottle of Windex, Brett?
This is a
stunning revelation to me.
I'm a pretty terrible bottle of Windex because every time I lean my head against a glass window and then pull it away, there's a big greasy spot, you know? So I'm like pretty much the worst bottle of Windex ever.
Greasy ass motherfucker.
I have a very.
You're lucky you have blonde hair, because if you had black hair, your hair would look all super nasty all the time.
Man. Well, I'm pretty good about washing my hair for the most part, but I'm just an oily motherfucker. I really am. I mean, I pretty much wash it every other day. Feel that shit. It's nice. Well, it's not brushed, though, but whatever. It gets tangled very easily. But yeah, I'm an oily face motherfucker.
Yeah.
I mean, even right after I get out of the shower, though, like 2 hours later, my face is just oily again. So I'm a terrible bottle of Windex. Chemicals are demonstrably what you are, Brett. I mean, it's what everything is. Everything has a chemical composition, you know, including stars and planets and all the things that you think were created by God. Chemicals are what God uses to make stuff in your worldview. So I don't really understand this. You're just chemicals. You're just like Windex. It's like, you understand that you are demonstrably chemicals, right? I mean, that's what you are. There's no even denying it. It's not even up for debate.
Observer or an external force that says that the liquid has any kind of value whatsoever. Do you only have value because other chemicals?
Is that enough value, Brett? Is keeping you alive not good enough?
Well, in his case, I don't know how much value it is. But, you know, I mean, like, when you're talking about Windex, I mean, like, Windex's value is it can clean windows and shit. That's what it does. Human beings are far more versatile in what they can do than a bottle of Windex. So the value is higher. But, I don't know. It's probably high. It's probably not the same across the board, I don't think. Because Brett couldn't even clean a window, even with Windex.
Walking around, you state that you are, or does your chemicals simply telling your other chemicals that you are trustworthy and worth value and that you're good?
What?
Science, y'all.
It's your chemicals telling your other chemicals.
Chemicals telling my chemicals what I think.
Well, you see, the chemicals don't have like a conference meeting in your brain, Brett. You see, they react with each other and shit happens because they've reacted with each other.
dopamine and serotonin and shit just sitting around talking to each other like, yeah, we gonna give this motherfucker a pleasure buzz. What you think, serotonin? Fuck yeah, dopamine. Sounds good to me.
Because without the external force and without the faith within yourself as well as that of the universe, then really I don't see any value in you whatsoever. So that is your challenge. That's your homework for tonight.
Right.
What makes you good? What makes any kind of chemicals out there good? And if you say something like reasoning or because...
Well, there's plenty of chemicals out there that make you feel good.
Yeah.
I think we can agree on that. I mean...
There's all kinds of chemicals that we use for good.
If this
like
is,
cleaning chemicals and things like that.
If this is... like Windex, which is what we are deep down inside.
Yeah.
That's why the veins are blue, you know? Because before it hits the air, it's Windex.
of your logic, then how do we know for a fact that you are actually logical? You're simply determining on your own perception and subjective opinion and views.
No, that's not how logic works. It's not. The whole point of logic is that it's not colored by emotional bias and what you want to be true.
The chemicals.
So does that make it good to have subjective?
I mean, like, logic is something like 1 + 1 = 2. That's some basic logic for you. You have one of something, and then you have another. You have two of something. It's not up for debate. You can't say, like, emotionally, I wish I had 3. Therefore, I have 3. Doesn't work that way.
Views and opinion? If so, explain why.
I did.
God bless you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
Well, God bless you,
My
Brett.
name is Dawn Key.
Shut up, Dawn.
Dorn!
God bless you too, Brett. You lovable son of a bitch.
You love him too?
Oh, yeah. He's a good fella.
Here is a news story about Donald Trump's...
You know, I mean, I honestly worry about Brett Keane sometimes. Because, I mean, like, seriously. Because, I mean, like, his health is obviously poor. Mm-hmm. And yet he spends all of his time obsessing over this YouTube drama and trying to do one-upsmanship on other people and shit like that. And it's like, God, don't you just see, like, how all this stress that you're subjecting yourself to is just causing your health to decline further? Shouldn't you, instead of wasting your time making videos attacking people, why don't you just fucking stop with the drama shit and just, you know, fucking relax, spend some time with the family you supposedly care so much about, and stop being an asshole on the internet. You know, it's not good for you, it's not good for the internet. No one likes it. You know, you're fucking yourself harder than you're even fucking anyone else. Feel bad for the stupid fuck. Anyway, Donald Trump.
All right, so this is a video about Donald Trump's proposed Muslim registry.
Yeah.
He'll probably have a Mexican registry too. So Luis, make sure you sign up for that.
I was born in America. My mother, though.
Well, whatever.
Fuck.
You're darkish.
Yep.
You gotta fucking be.
It doesn't even matter.
Pretty pale.
Nah,
Pretty
you're dark. Your name is Luis, man. You gotta fucking.
My hair's dark, but
yeah,
I'm
that's
like
enough.
A phantom.
You gotta be in the registry, bitch.
Yep.
Okay.
You're going to the concentration camp.
Gotta make sure you're not raping anybody.
You're just a fucking anchor baby stealing our gerbs.
All right, Donald Trump.
Ow.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that hurt.
I'm Marthel Neville, and you are in the strategy room.
What kind of intro sound was
Donald
that?
Trump
It's
is
like
still in controversy after voicing support
It's to
for
try and
the
dumbfound
creation
you
of
so
a
you don't question what
mandatory
they're saying.
database to track Muslims in the United States. The businessman's comments are the latest in an escalating series.
Hold on. That is not constitutional at all. I mean, that's like the First Amendment, okay? I mean, you cannot show favoritism. Like, you as the government are not supposed to show favoritism towards one religion or persecute any religion or whatever. Okay, so that's not constitutional to do. No way in hell he would ever be able to fucking do it. And even the idea itself is just ridiculous anyway. I love how these fucking conservative idiots like Donald Trump, They want a Muslim registry, but they're opposed to a gun registry. I mean...
Yeah. That's so fucked up.
Muslims have barely killed anyone in this fucking country.
Right.
Guns have killed a shit ton. We need a registry to keep track of these Muslims. Because, you know, terrorist attacks are so fucking common.
We need to give the people more guns and keep the Muslims out. That's how it's going to be.
Or we at least need to track them, you know?
Yes, take away what little freedom the American people have and just put it in the trash.
We need to put we need to like mark Muslims with like some kind of like, I don't know, a star or something. We could put it on their jackets.
Luis, the people in the chat room were calling to have you deported back to Mexico. I know you said you were born here and everything, but
I was.
Sorry, they're revoking your citizenship.
Get out of here, you fucking spick. Get out of my damn country, you fucking wetback. We don't want your kind around here. That's America. That's America, goddammit.
Exactly.
You get the fuck out. You get the fuck out.
Does it make you feel better that my dad's American?
No.
No, because he's a race traitor.
He's a race traitor.
By presidential candidates following the deadly attacks in Paris. Here with reaction or political strategist Basil Michael Jr. and TJ McCormack. Welcome to you both. TJ, I'm going to start with you on this. What's your reaction?
TJ. His name was TJ.
To Trump's position.
It should sink him. It should end his campaign, and it should put him on the negative.
I mean, like, how long are you going to be saying this shit? It's obviously not going to fucking sink him, you moron. If any of these, if any of the crazy shit Trump was saying was gonna sink him, it'd have sunk him by fucking now. All right. I mean, come on. How long have the pundits been fucking predicting Trump's he's gonna be gone any day now? Downfall of Trump coming soon, right around the corner. How long you been saying this shit? Come on. At this point, just admit Trump's got a fucking shot. And the more crazy shit he says, the more popular he is with the Republican base. You know why that is? Because they're fucking crazy themselves, and that's what they want to hear.
Negative side of the column, which means he's going to go up. His numbers are going to go up, and it's going to be another Trump move. This guy is not Teflon. He is impenetrable.
I could penetrate him.
I don't think the bad stuff gets near. I think it repels before it even touches him. It's weird because
TJ, Trump didn't say that. What did Trump not say? Trump didn't say what? Fuck you, chat. You don't know.
The Republicans have.
Oh yeah, I've never heard him say that before. That's true.
Had the opportunity for all the moral high ground in the world. The entire world, the New York Times, the Washington Post, everybody was turning on the president for his lack of authority on what happened in Paris, his petulance in his press conferences on foreign soil, right when the Republicans had the chance to take and claim the moral high ground and never give it up. Here comes Donald Trump muddying the waters with his own messaging campaign of track all Muslims. It gives the rest of the Republicans a little bit of political cover. They can at least come out and call for increased scrutiny of refugees in general.
Then let me turn to Basil on this. How does...
So he's basically saying that, like, well, we can be fucking regressive morons too, but all we got to do is point to Donald Trump and say, at least we're not as bad as him. We're reasonable compared to Trump, huh? Yeah, you like that, America.
Does the recent attack in Paris impact the campaign trail?
Well, you've seen Hillary Clinton take a very strong stand in terms of our strategy against ISIS, but also saying very...
Man, look at them lame-ass kids getting Donald Trump to sign their fucking placard.
I know. I would not have been interested in that at all.
Like, if I was a kid and Donald Trump walked up to me, I'd just be like, ew, get the fuck away.
Boy, I get to have an autograph from Donald Trump.
Donald Trump signed my sign.
Clearly that we've got to spend more time getting the Muslim countries to be with us in helping push back. there are some reports that suggest that she's a little stronger than President Obama is right now on this issue. I can imagine that that's the case, particularly going into Iowa and New Hampshire in a couple of weeks and months. But the reality is, and to go back to what TJ was saying,
fuck you, Fox News. You're not allowed to have anyone named TJ on your shows.
If Donald Trump continues along this path, it is an extraordinarily dangerous path, and I think every
for who? For Muslim America, maybe. For Donald Trump, no. I mean, this kind of rhetoric might get him the nomination of the Republican Party. It's probably not going to get him the presidency. I would say there's pretty much almost no chance that he would win a general election, because the only people he's appealing to is like the craziest of crazy Republicans.
Candidate on the Republican side should, but I doubt they will.
Yeah.
But certainly we'll see Democrats, I think, consistently pushing Donald Trump and others back. But my fear is that we'll spend so much time pushing him back that we're actually not getting to the details of how we need to move forward.
And therein lies also, again, that political cover for the rest of the Republicans. They can at least get onto this bandwagon where, they can say, look, we have to be...
You're not allowed as a party to disavow the front runner of your party. When the majority of people in your party support some guy, you can't be like, this guy's really hurting us. It's like, no, he is you. That's why he has majority support. That's why he's ahead in almost every poll. There's a few with Carson ahead, but most polls, Trump's ahead. There's a reason for that. It's because the crazy shit he says is the kind of shit that the Republican constituency in this country fucking believes.
Very resolute in vetting all of these potential refugees coming in, because look what happened about in the last 48 hours, last couple of days. We found people in Honduras trying to make it through with stolen Greek passports. They were Syrian. They caught a few at the border. So there are, and one of the apparent attackers in Paris was in fact from Syria. So anyway, it's one of these things where there are some facts and some evidence on the side, but Donald, again, he can afford to somehow.
What about
he's able
the
to do
fact
it,
that
and
most
let's
of the
also
9/11 hijack? What about the fact that most of the 9/11 hijackers are from Saudi Arabia, and yet we still consider them our allies in the region?
Our oil people in the region.
Yeah, man, Saudi Arabia, they're our allies. Sure, they're actually sentencing a poet over there to death for apostasy. Because they say that he's anti-Muslim, even though he is a Muslim himself. Basically, he criticized the Saudi government, so now they're saying, oh, he's an atheist. He's not even an atheist. But they're trying to put him to death over in Saudi Arabia, and that's kind of allies we got over there. But those people, infinite forgiveness for the Saudis. But some Syrian people who are, most of whom are trying to either fight against ISIS or fight or try to get the fuck out of there. They're the bad guys. They're the bad ones. No, the Saudi Arabia is like the worst in the region. Saudi Arabia and Iran, but Iran at least has some liberalism that's allowed, or that somehow survives. But Saudi Arabia, there's pretty much nothing. It's a horrible place.
forget the reason that he doesn't take a dip in the polls is because there's people in America who agree with them.
Well, that's,
which is a little.
Well, yeah.
Let me give you a last question to both of you, and we'll end it here. Because national security concerns are dominating the headlines. I mean, first of all, you, Basil, mentioned that Hillary.
Everyone's going fucking crazy, you know? Like, Fox News is now trying to dial conservatism back a notch.
Yep.
That's how
More
bad
moderate.
it's gotten. Fox News now seems like they're the moderate right. Because even they're like, man, Donald Trump, what have we done? What have we created?
Yes.
We gotta try to pull this shit back. There's no pulling it back, all right? You fucking... You threw the train into its highest fucking gear or whatever trains have, and now it's off the fucking rails, and it's just going. All right.
Shot in the womb. No point in pulling out now. The baby's coming out, no matter what you do.
Yeah, the sperm is already on its way to the fucking egg. All right.
Hillary Clinton could possibly be strong on this issue, given her experience. But I ask.
Oh fuck Hillary Clinton. What's next?
Let's see. Here's Ben Stein saying something about Obama. Yeah, Ben Stein. So try to stay awake.
Stein. All right.
Try to stay awake while he's talking.
Bueller.
Mr. Obama has been wrong from.
That's what he's known for.
Bueller.
I mean, like that's.
Well, he was a Nixon speechwriter.
Yeah, I know.
And he also is he's a creationist fucktard. For those who don't know.
Yeah, I think he's Jewish.
Yeah. And he went to the concentration camps like Auschwitz and shit, and he's like, atheism caused this. Fuck him. He's such a piece of shit.
He called them the JV team. He said that they weren't really serious or important. He has not in any sense addressed their threat, and he's a bad joke. As the leader of the most important nation in the world, he's a bad joke.
He is a bad joke. What's worse, Rush Limbaugh.
He's a bad joke.
And now he's about to talk about Rush Limbaugh. Clearly not a bad joke himself, right?
Rush Limbaugh is to be taken with the utmost seriousness.
Kicked off his show today by saying that Obama is a danger to the safety of this nation.
Oh, he's a very real danger. Well, I mean, I'm very interested in psychology.
Look at him shaking hands with
Saudis. Are those Saudis?
I think they are. Those are our allies right there.
Or actually, I think they might be Kuwait.
Could be. Who knows?
I can't tell.
I don't know the flag. I don't recognize it. So
that might be the. You know what? I think that is the Saudi flag. I think their flag is green.
Yeah.
I'm very interested in psychoanalysis. I guess I probably should have been a psychologist or a psychoanalyst, but
no.
I think the question is, why is he so angry at America? I mean, why?
Yeah, it is.
Wait, he's angry at America? Obama?
Obama is angry at America. The president of America, who wears an American flag lapel pin and fucking represents America and, is pretty much like everything he does that is not just to gratify his own ego, because some of it is, but everything he does aside from that is for America, whether you agree with it or not. I don't think he's fucking angry at America.
I don't think there's much question that he does not wish America well.
Obama does not wish America well. I mean, like...
He rules this place. If it falls, he loses everything. He doesn't want this place to die.
If Obama fucking hated America and does not wish it well, he could just be doing all kinds of crazy shit to sabotage everything. Like, he could just be, all right, everyone, we're opening the borders up. Everyone in. Open borders from now on. Anybody can come in anytime. Don't even need to fucking ask them any questions or nothing. And we're disbanding the police force, and I'm pardoning all the rapists. I mean, he could do all that shit.
Yeah,
he doesn't.
Missing some nukes here? I'll give them all to you. Just kill me, please. I beg you.
We're going to sell nukes to Iran.
He has a real strong hatred of America. Is it because he's part black? I don't know.
What? Really?
Them black people just hate America so much.
I'm just throwing it out there that he's part black. And
maybe that's why he hates America.
But seriously, how can anybody take this guy seriously? He was in Ferris fucking Bueller, okay? And he had a game show with Jimmy Kimmel. That's why anyone even really gives a shit about him now.
Ben Stein's money. Well, you know what? Now that I see how he gets it, I don't fucking want it.
I'll tell you what, I did watch that show, and he was really knowledgeable about a lot of stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, he's so conservative.
He's real good at rote memorization. Congratulations to Ben Stein.
Yeah.
For being able to do what anyone can do with a smartphone. Fuck him. He's a piece of shit. And he hates America.
Are you done with this, or
no? We can listen to more of this horse shit, I guess.
Because he felt his father was mistreated by the British in Kenya. I don't know. We don't know it. We just know that in terms of being a forthright, bold leader
who takes on her enemy.
Well, Obama's father was from Kenya, and I believe the British were in control of that territory at one point.
Yeah, and by the way, historically, they probably were not nice.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Obama?
Nothing. Literally nothing. Right. Obama barely even knew his fucking father anyway.
He'd only met him a few times.
Like father, like son.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, is all I'm saying.
Missing in action.
Guess that's it. Well, don't ever watch this show. Steve Malzberg. He's a fucking moron, and apparently he has morons for guests.
Oh, you're going to love this one, TJ. Okay. Two of your favorite people. Two of your favorite people together.
Two intellectual giants in one place.
Yep. Donald Trump and Michael Savage.
Woo!
Yep.
Yeah. Savage Nation.
His real last name is Wiener, by the way.
Wiener.
Yep.
I'm dumb.
Where, I guess borders, language, and culture prevail for the last 21 years.
Yeah.
Let's not waste any time. The latest poll, Trump 30%.
If we weren't going to waste any time, we shouldn't be listening to you.
Carson 12%, Bush 8%. And we're going to have Donald Trump on right now. He's been gracious enough to come on the Savage Nation. Donald, so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you, Michael. It's great to be with you.
Wow. You know,
so happy.
I did not normally hear political candidates in the past actually go on Michael Savage.
No, most wouldn't.
And now
Trump is once again bucking conventional wisdom and doing things his way.
Because Michael Savage is an extremist.
Michael Savage is a piece of shit. Like, there's no doubt about Michael Savage's credentials as just horrible in every single way with no redeeming values whatsoever.
I mean, he said autism was basically fake. It was just like bratty kids from like shitty parenting.
Yeah, and he said about ADD and all this other stuff. I mean, like, even though you can actually look at differences in the brains of people with these disorders and see, like, wow, it really is different. You know, he doesn't care. Fuck science. I'm Michael Savage. I think they're just a bunch of crybaby faggots.
So the polls certainly show that the people are
complete mess because I was diagnosed with ADHD and I couldn't sit down in my chair and I was making noises and running from one end of the room to another. That was just because I was a spoiled rich kid? Is that what he said?
Yep. And hey, by the way, fun fact about Michael Savage, even though he hates gay people, he once wrote a book. It was a novel, all right? And the main character was like a thinly veiled version of himself. It was completely obvious that he was talking about himself. And this character, in his youth, struggled with feelings of homosexuality.
Interesting.
So that could be part of what's making this guy so angry.
He's written a lot of
He has a cock hunger that hasn't been sated in decades.
Most of his other books are about like natural healing, like herbal healing and shit like that. That's what his PhD that he has is in. That's why he gets to call himself Dr. Michael Savage.
Dr. Michael Savage. And by the way, Donald Trump, I don't know if it's in this interview, but at some point Donald Trump did say that he was going to make this like Michael Savage like Minister of Health or some bullshit position.
He does not deserve to be paid taxpayer money.
Oh, he does. He's a patriot. It's right there on his buoy there.
Exactly. Look, he's smiling. He's like, I'm ready for you, America, but are you ready for me?
Responding to you. Do you want to comment on that, or would you rather move on to fundamental questions?
Well, I'm just happy that it's, it is nice.
Donald Trump sounds hoarse. He needs to eat a lozenge or something.
Because that means quite a bit to me. And, when I first entered, they all said I'd never run, and then they said I'll never file, and then they said, well, he'll never file his financials because maybe they're not as good as people think, and I filed them, and it was almost 100 pages, and they turned out to be much better than anyone ever had even imagined. It's more than a $10 billion net worth, which I only say because that's the kind of thinking our country needs when we deal with China, when we deal with Japan. And
that's the kind of thinking our country needs? What do you mean? Being rich is the kind of thinking our country needs when it comes to what?
Yes,
Mexico,
we need
and
to
all
make
these
as much money as possible. That is the only thing that should be on our minds.
countries that are ripping us off, and they won't be doing it for long, believe me. So, so it was. It's really nice to see the kind of polls we're getting. They're getting really phenomenal.
Well, look, here's the thing. Many people are trying to rip you down because you're challenging the Republican establishment on many issues, including the economy. They're open borders traders, they're free traders, open borders people. I want to ask you about tariffs. Back in 2010, I published a book in which it was entitled Trickle Up Poverty, in which I called for tariffs on goods from China, and I asked for 20% tariff on all goods produced in China. My opinion is that tariffs would stop their hollowing out of our industries. The industries would come back to America. I'd like to see their factories go empty, not ours. I'd like to see our...
How do you feel about that?
Tariffs? I mean, I don't really have a particular problem with that.
Yeah, that doesn't sound too crazy to me.
No, it's really not. It's one of the more sensible things. That
I think
said. Some of the stances he has towards like China and stuff about like he's just gonna basically like tell him what to do and he's gonna be the big boss man and shit. That's not gonna work. But
No.
I think imposing tariffs might not be a bad idea. There would be drawbacks, but I could see benefits as well.
American companies using cheap Chinese labor
Yeah, I mean, it would
is
cut
out
down,
of hand.
It would cut down on that. And that does need to be I think most people on the liberal side agree with that too. So I mean, he's kind of more of a Democrat on this issue, honestly.
Our factories working again. There are people in the radio business who don't understand business, Donald, who say that you're all wrong on tariffs. Could you explain to the world why tariffs are in the interest of the American worker?
Okay, it's so simple. Look, we have a country, let's take China, and everybody's ripping us. We don't have any country that we do well with, practically, but virtually every country is ripping us. Let's say China is the number one abuser. They devalue their currency. They just devalued it 3 weeks ago, the biggest devaluation in 20 years. They keep devaluing. It makes it impossible for our businesses to compete. And just so you understand, if you try and sell to China, I have a friend who's a manufacturer. They charge him a massive tax every time he sells. We don't, because we don't know what we're doing. We have leaders that truly don't have a clue. I mean,
He's 100% right on this so far.
I think it's only that they're incompetent. I hope it's not worse than that, but they don't have a clue.
Well, I would actually not say he's 100% right about us getting ripped off by countries left and right. He's right about China. He's right about China. I mean, there's plenty of countries that we actually have quite an exploitative relationship with. Especially countries that we've, formerly been at war with and now have military bases at, and, the conquest countries and shit. Like all those mineral mines and shit in Afghanistan, we got some pretty lucrative access to that shit. Because, we happen to have gone over there and taken over their country for a good long while.
It's a one-way street. When China devalues, we should immediately put on a tax because all they're doing is sucking the money and the jobs out of the United States. I said the other day to somebody...
By the way, Donald Trump, a lot of his products are manufactured in China, so... Just putting that out there.
Yeah.
He is full of shit on this.
For the first time I said it, which is sort of unusual because I've been saying this about China for a long time, I said it's the single greatest theft in the history of the United States, maybe the world, the money they've...
I mean, if we, I agree that the deals that we have with China are kind of bad. And I agree that it's weird that we let them charge tariffs on our goods, but we don't charge any tariffs on their goods just so we could keep cheap goods on the shelves at fucking substandard stores like Walmart and shit. But, that's a whole other matter.
Taken out the jobs they've taken out. We've rebuilt China. I mean, we have actually rebuilt China. They've taken so much from us. Okay.
I mean, that's not theft. We made a bad deal. We're not doing things we should be. That doesn't make them thieves. I don't know what he means we rebuilt China. When was China destroyed even?
So when you do the tariff or tax, we call it anything you want, but when you do, you're neutralizing the damage that they're doing to you. And we have a one-way. Now, I'd like to see no tax, and I'd like to see them even with us and not cheating us, okay?
Okay, right.
When you do the tariff, when you do the tax, what we're doing is neutralizing some of the damage that they're doing to us by taking our jobs and taking our money.
One unintended consequence of that, I will say, is that the price of a lot of, U.S. goods that are made in China will probably go up. And I mean, are we going to impose tariffs on some other countries that are making stuff? Like Bangladesh makes a lot of clothing. We're going to put tariffs on that.
I see a lot of stuff from Indonesia, too.
Yeah. You know, are we going to put tariffs on all of these countries? Because, like, a lot of the cheap goods that Americans have such a big fucking red, white, and blue boner for are manufactured in sweatshops in the third world.
Taiwan, that's another one I see a lot, too. Made in Taiwan.
You know, the interesting thing, we right now owe China $1.4 trillion. So think of it. They've taken our jobs, they've taken our base, they've taken our money, and we owe them $1.4 trillion. $1.4 trillion that we're paying interest on. That's like a magic act. So it's a very...
Oh, people are saying that when Trump was talking about rebuilding, they were talking about from like Mao and shit. So I guess that's what they mean by rebuilding after like the cultural revolutions and shit.
Sad thing.
But it's not just Donald. It's not just China. I've studied this in great detail, and products from the United States entering Mexico that do not qualify under the NAFTA rules are subject to Mexico's MFN rates of duty. And I have a tariff table. I won't read it on the air. I won't waste your time. They're awesome. They range up to 30% on goods that are not protected by NAFTA. But if you go to the bottom of the list, your hair would stand up on the additional import taxes and fees. Mexico has an IVA or VAT, value-added tax on most sales transactions, including sales of foreign products. The fact of the matter is we're being killed even by the Mexican government.
Mexico is killing us, and they're killing us at the border, and they're killing us in trade. You know, Ford...
It makes no sense, really, that... You know, when goods are so much more expensive to manufacture here, we're the ones who are constantly paying taxes just to import our goods to other places. When our goods are it's already difficult to make them competitive because we have to pay higher wages here than, you know, they do in Indonesia or fucking Bangladesh or Taiwan or wherever, you know, different parts of India and Asia. I really don't disagree. I mean, like, for this being a Michael Savage and Donald Trump conversation, I'm not really finding too much to take issue with.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Building a $2.5 billion plant in Mexico. Nabisco announced they're leaving Chicago and they're going to build a massive plant down in Mexico, taking a lot of jobs. It's so incredible how stupid the leaders and the negotiators are that we have. Now, I have Carl Icahn lined up, who's a great negotiator. I have some of the greatest negotiators in the world lined up. That will not happen for very long, believe me. That'll all end.
Negotiators going to negotiate negotiations. Wow.
It's a one-way street. Every country, and I would say virtually, you look at Brazil, you look at other countries, you look at Japan. How about Japan? They sell us millions of cars pour into this country, millions of cars. They pour in. We give them beef, and they don't want it. You know, a lot of times the boats get over there, they turn it back. It is, and it's perishable. It is a disgraceful situation, and the problem is that our leaders are not smart, and they're not cunning, and the world...
I mean, come on. China is one of those countries we have pretty sweetheart deals with. I mean, like, you know, if we send beef over there and they don't want to fucking buy the beef, like, that seems to me like the kind of shit that should have been arranged before you even sent the boat out there, you know? You don't just load a boat up with beef, go to Japan, and be like, y'all want this or not? And then when they say no, we're just like, nope. Well, fuck you then, Japan.
No, don't think ahead. Just sort of do the thing first, and if something happens, do it then. Don't think ahead.
I mean, America does plenty of trade around the world with plenty of countries. I agree there's countries that... I mean, I wouldn't go so far as to hyperbolize it like Trump, like they're robbing us or something, but there's definitely situations where we're being taken advantage of because we're a little bit more prosperous.
And then then there's like Cuba that we don't trade with that we probably should.
Yeah, I mean, they're right there. And, you know, those cigars be pretty popular.
Yeah.
I mean, they already are when people could get their hands on them. But, yeah.
Yeah, you can get your hands on them in pretty much every other country aside from the U.S.
Oh, yes, you can. You know.
Like every other country I've ever gone to has Cuban cigars.
They're really strong.
Yeah?
Very strong cigars.
Yeah, we had some in Italy.
Italy, yeah.
Yeah.
Italy. So you want to do a different video, or?
Yeah. Let me find a good one for the last video of the night.
Last video.
Yeah, my playlist got reset when I had to reset the computer. I was looking for something that I think would be good. Okay. Yeah, we'll go with Stephanie Manure.
The truth about the Paris terrorist attack.
Yep.
27
Hi, everybody.
minutes.
Fan Molyneux from Free Domain Radio with an update on the Paris radical Islamic terrorist attacks. Reports show 129 people are dead.
Which apparently is what PTA stood for all this time. I did not know that.
352 injured, and 99 of the injured are in critical
Well, there you go, black girl from earlier.
condition after the terrorist attacks in Paris, France on Friday, November the 13th, 2015. 3 coordinated attack teams of Islamic terrorists, some with AK-47s, some acting as suicide bombers, attacked 7 sites throughout the French capital, with the worst carnage occurring at the Bataclan concert hall, with at least 89 murdered.
I think they all had AK-47s. I think even the ones that had bombing, vests also had guns. I don't know if they were AK-47s necessarily, but I remember reading some stories about, they shot people until they ran out of ammo and then they detonated themselves. There was an interesting story about one of the, I think the frontman of Eagles of Death Metal said that when the attacks were happening, a shit ton of people ran into the back, into the band's dressing room, and they thought they maybe would be safe there, but actually, the terrorists just came and gunned everyone down. But the only person who survived was some little kid who basically hid under the singer's jacket. Pretty crazy story.
8 terrorists died during the attacks, with 7 killing themselves in suicide blasts and the last being shot by police.
By the way, when he was shot by police, his jacket or vest or whatever it is did detonate.
It's reported that the Paris attackers shouted, "It's for Syria," and "Allahu Akbar," but many pundits and politicians and usual suspects are of course warning that we shouldn't speculate about the allegiance of the attackers. Could be Scottish.
What do you mean speculate about their allegiance? We already know what their fucking allegiance is. I've not heard anyone saying we shouldn't speculate about their allegiance. No one has to speculate about it. Everyone fucking knows what their allegiance was. I mean, ISIS issued a letter taking responsibility for the attacks. They were clearly Muslim extremists. I don't think anyone's denying that they were Islamic extremists. I mean, about the worst you could accuse anyone of is, like, Hillary Clinton calling them jihadis instead of Islamic extremists. But, jihadi is really just another word for Islamic extremist any fucking way.
One of the attackers was a young Frenchman known to the authorities, but a Syrian passport was found near the body of another attacker, identifying the man as a Syrian refugee who entered the European Union through Greece last month.
Yeah, one of the 8 terrorists was the Syrian refugee. The others were actually homegrown terrorists. They were all European-born Muslims. So you can't really credit them you can't really credit their radicalization on coming from somewhere like Syria or something like that. The only place you can really blame it is just the inculcation of radical Islam, which can exist anywhere that Islam exists, unfortunately.
Another of the terrorists was in possession of an Egyptian passport, and 3 suspects are believed to have originated from Brussels. One of the attackers who died at the Stade de France stadium is believed to have been as young as 15 years old. France, of course, has been on edge since January.
So, why is everything he's saying part of a weird bullet-pointed list? I mean, I don't get what's the necessity of this bullet-pointed list. Like, Are we supposed to memorize these easier or something when he
He's going
breaks
to
it
give
up
us
like
an
this?
essay at the end of the video and see if we paid attention.
Oh, okay. There's gonna be like a Q&A session where we have to answer questions about these. This is like study notes for the final quiz. I got it.
When Islamic
Taking
terrorists
notes,
attacked
chat?
the
You better be.
satirical newspaper Charlie Hebdo, leaving 20 people dead, including 3 of the shooters. ISIS released a statement on Saturday, November 14th, claiming responsibility for the attacks. Quote, "A group of believers from the soldiers of the Caliphate, may Allah strengthen and support it, set out targeting the capital of prostitution and vice, Paris."
Very dramatic. Yeah, I read that. I guess he's going to read more of it.
Paris was thereby shaken beneath the Crusaders' feet, who were constricted by its streets. Let France and all nations following its path know that they will continue to be at the top of the target list for the Islamic State, and that the scent of death will not leave their nostrils as long as they partake in the Crusader campaign.
Yeah, I mean, the fucking letter that ISIS sent was basically a love letter to Allah. I mean, I think that it was about 500 words long, which is, if you have like a basic paperback book, it's about 250 words a page on average. So that's 2 pages of, just the ordinary paperback that you could fit in your pocket.
JF says...
And yet Allah was mentioned 14 times.
JF really likes Stephanie here.
Ugh. Well, he likes Donald Trump, too.
I know.
Indeed, they said, this is just the beginning.
Okay.
ISIS has also added, "The American blood is best, and we will taste it soon."
Maybe they will.
French
Maybe they
President
won't.
François Hollande has closed the borders due to the unprecedented terror attacks, as they've been called, and has vowed that France will wage merciless war on ISIS in response.
Okay.
France remains under a nationwide state of emergency at the moment.
Okay.
What preceded these attacks? Well, on Sunday, November the 8th.
I'm sorry.
Is this
are you
have
gonna
a point? Is he going to do anything with this?
Are you going to editorialize? Yeah, I was about to ask. Is he going to editorialize at any point, or is this whole thing just going to be him explaining stuff that anyone who's paying attention already fucking knows? I mean, I guess I can understand the importance of doing a basic recap, but I mean, I hope all this information is really necessary for wherever the fuck he's going with this.
France conducted an airstrike on Syria's oil infrastructure, which was the latest in a series of military measures. President Hollande claimed that an ISIS training camp in eastern Syria posed a threat to French security and ordered it destroyed, accomplishing the task, as he claimed, without civilian casualties. France, of course, has been involved in airstrikes in Iraq as part of the US-led coalition since 2014. But has previously restrained from attacks in Syria in order to avoid strengthening.
Bueller.
Yeah.
Wow, this sucks, Ben.
Yeah,
this is fucking horrible.
I don't know. People always send me his fucking videos.
We don't want this shit. Don't send us this anymore. This
How
is
this even
bad.
slightly interesting to them?
It's not.
I don't know.
It's not even like, what are we supposed to do with this?
He's really popular for
He's
some
just
reason.
reciting the fucking news at this point. Like, I mean, I'm sure he does editorialize at some point, but are we really to sit through all of this to get to that?
No.
Fuck that. All right, the show is over.
It's fucking over.
If you guys enjoyed the show, be sure to give it a big fat thumbs up. Please support us.
Subscribe.
Audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants. Patreon.com/DP.
Subscribe.
Amazon affiliate links in the description. And of course, as my friend Ben keeps saying, subscribe. And remember, patrons, if you're $25 or $50 patrons, the Hangout is tomorrow at 6, and the Cards Against Humanity is Wednesday at 6 Eastern Time for both of those. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you Wednesday, but remember, there will not be a Friday show this week.
No show Friday.
No show this Friday. You're going to have to wait 2 weeks before you get any Paul's Ego. Oh, no. So sad. So sad. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Good one.
Have a good one.